veteran Jim Turner is ailing, and Fred Steinfort is the kickoff man for Denver. Artie Owens and Hank Fowler are back to receive the kick inside the 5-yard line. Denver kicking off from our right to our left. And this is a thrilling sight here at San Diego Stadium with a huge crowd. The tremendous racket that they're setting up. The referee, Chuck Heberling, is waiting to give the signal. He's working with Ed Sithick as the umpire, Ray Dotis the head linesman, Bruce Alford the line judge, Paul Bates the back judge, side judge Dave Perry, field judge Bill Stanley, and the kick. And it heads for Artie. No, it's Fowler who picks it on the 10. Up the middle, 15, 20, 25, 30-yard line. Goes Hank Fowler, a big, strong running back, and the tackler with Larry Evans, the Denver linebacker. You talk about a home field advantage, Henry.
Yeah, this is really something, and I'll tell you another thing, Jack. I'd hate to be playing this game with a new kicker who has kicked for me for the first time. We watched him in a pregame warm-up, and he really had a lot of trouble. It could be a very deciding factor in this game.
Watching him in pregame practice, and Steinfort had a terrible time even during practice. The lone setback is Clarence Williams, and Fouts is back to throw on first down. Swings it out to Williams on the screen. He gets a block. He's to the 40, has the first down, spins out to the 45-yard line, and the Chargers have a first down on their very first carry, and Barney Davis, the left defensive end in that three-man Denver front, was the tackler.
It's very easy to understand why the Chargers would not try to run too much here and would want to throw first and run second. The Broncos are fifth in total defense, first against the run and 9 against the pass. And San Diego has averaged 34 passes a game with 30 runs a game.
They're in the I formation, a 14-yard gain. And here's a give to the tailback, Williams. He got only a yard and a half that time as he followed Mike Thomas through the hole. He ran into Reuben Carter and Bryson Manor. Minor playing the right end now that Lyle Alzado has moved on to the Cleveland club. They say he's been doing very well there.
Yes, he has, and of course there's a penalty on the play.
The flag was thrown here after a short pickup by Clarence Williams. One aspect of the running game for the Chargers, Hank, and they've only averaged 105 yards per game per rush.
Illegal formation. Offense refused. Second down.
Penalty is declined, and it's second down and 9. Neither of their starting running backs are very big.
No, one is 5'11", 190. That's Mike Thomas, and of course Clarence Williams, 5'11", 195.
But they have some big backs that they can put in there, and they do in goal line situations. The ball is at their own 45 for the Chargers. Second down and 9.
And the passing formation.
The tight end, Fouts back to throw, swings it out. The pass is caught and incomplete. A big hit was made by the middle linebacker, Gradishar, on Clarence Williams on a little swing pass. Incomplete was the call. John Jefferson, the excellent wide receiver of the Chargers, has bad ribs, and he's going to be less than full speed tonight.
Yeah, there's no question about that, and the kind of hit that just prevailed. Randy Gradishar really got a good shot on that tackle that time, and the ball was jarred loose and falls incomplete. Unusual formation that time, Jack. They had a triple wing slot to the left and a flank on the right side. Center back in motion. Now they're in a double wing, double slot with only one back in the backfield. That's Clarence Williams.
Burton and Floyd, the wide receivers, on 3rd and 9. Fouts lost it down the middle and incomplete. And now it's picked off on a deflection, and Denver has it coming back the other way. The tackle made at their 41-yard line is Bill Thompson. Picked off that deflection, which was thrown down the middle and hung up there a bit too long, Hank.
Exactly right, Jack. That's exactly what happened. He waited a little bit too long. They released the ball. He had a man open by the time he got it there, however. The ball was deflected. The ball was intended for Charlie Joyner, of course. And the interception by Bill Thompson, number 36.
So an early turnover on an interception. And Denver won the first game between these two clubs, 7-0, and intercepted 3 passes in the process. So now Craig Morton brings his team out. Otis Armstrong and John Keyworth will be his running back. And now Charlie Joyner is limping to the sideline. And he will be joining John Jefferson, the other wide receiver, on the less than 100% list. That's bad. Joyner appears to be walking all right, although ailing a little bit. And the Broncos go from their 42. This is for the title in the AFC West. Otis Armstrong, the tailback in the I formation behind Keyworth. And Morton on first down. A long snap count and a give to Otis Armstrong on a slant over the right side. Moves across the 45, out near the 47. Stopped by Bob Horn, the middle linebacker. And a substantial game for Denver. We saw San Diego one time this year really get torn up in the running game department. That was by Oakland, Hank, and we remember how they did it.
Yes, they had a double tight end offense. They featured that most of the game, and they ran to their left a great deal of the time, and they ran right at Dean, who was really a terrific football player, number 71.
It is second down and 4. I formation once again. A toss to Armstrong, running right, trying to get outside, and he comes near midfield, very close to a first down, and run out of bounds by Woody Lowe, the linebacker. So Armstrong is carried twice, and he is short of a first down by about a half a yard.
And you know, the other thing about Armstrong, he hasn't been featured a great deal. He's been interchanging with the other backs. I think they feel strongly about using him a great deal in this game, and they're going to feature him a great deal because he's got terrific speed and is capable of the big play.
And Rob Lytle is out. He had a knee operation, so Armstrong gets a chance to sparkle here tonight. It's third down and 1 from the 49-yard line of the Chargers for Denver. No score here in the early going. And on third down, Morton hands it off, and a loss on the play. A loss on the play. Running with the ball was Jensen, and he was upset by Woody Lowe, the linebacker, who fired in there.
Boy, he really got penetration in a hurry that time. He looked like he was in a huddle of the Denver Broncos that time, the way he got penetration.
So the Broncos are going to have to punt, and Luke Prestige does the kicking. And Mike Fuller is back to receive the kick inside the 15-yard line. Fuller in the kick return department has averaged 9.5 yards per punt return. San Diego almost blocked it. Prestige gets it away. Fuller allows it to go out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Good kick by Prestige, and San Diego gets the ball for the second time. 10-15 remaining here in the first quarter. More time than that. We'll get the time right. But with the score, Denver nothing, San Diego nothing. Let's take time out.
Looking at the rest of the games on Sunday and the playoff positions, the way it looks right now, Cincinnati ended Cleveland's slim chance for the playoffs with a 16-12 victory over the Browns, and Seattle spoiled Oakland's chances with a 29-24 triumph over the Raiders. That put Denver into the playoffs, no matter how the Broncos do in the divisional showdown tonight with San Diego. Looking at some of the other games, by the way, in that Bears game, Walter Payton gained 137 yards and scored 3 touchdowns as Chicago, as he mentioned, demolished the Cardinals 42-6. Some of the other ball games, Earl Campbell won the NFL rushing title for the second straight year, running for 134 yards at TD, and the Houston Oilers' 26-20 loss to the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, Jim Zorn tossed a pair of touchdown passes as the Seattle Seahawks dashed the Oakland Raiders' playoff hopes with a 29-24 triumph. New Orleans Saints beat the Los Angeles Rams 29-14 to finish the season at 500 for their best record ever.
The offensive line of the Chargers, Bob Rush, Ed White, Doug Wilkerson, Billy Shields, and Russ Washington. First down at their own 15 for the Chargers. Intercepted the last time they had the ball. Klein goes in motion, the tight end. Bounce back to throw. He looks, swings it off, drops it off to his running back. And a gain of 5 yards out to the 20-yard line. And that was Clarence Williams. Dan Coryell has always been a screen pass, swing pass sort of coach.
Yes, and the nice thing about that kind of a passing offense, really, it's a possession style of passing. They don't get the ball upfield too much, except when they get in a great opportunity and get you on one-on-one. But they like to dump the ball off the backs, and Faust is tall enough and does a great job of doing that kind of passing for San Diego.
Joyner and Floyd are the wide receivers. Klein, the tight end on the right side. Second down and 5. Faust throwing again. Stays in the pocket. A lot of time. He runs out. Gets to the 20. Gets to the 25. Has the first down. He's out to the 28-yard line for the first down for San Diego this evening. Randy Gradishar, the tackler. They have 2 big offensive tackles on this Charger club.
Yes, they do. The left tackle, Billy Shields, 6'8", 275. And, of course, Russ Washington, 6'7", 288.
Not only big, but they're good.
They certainly are.
Charlie Joyner comes out again. He's replaced by Larry Burton. I know you have a lot of respect for Burton, although he's a backup receiver.
Yeah, he's got blazing speed, and he catches the ball going away extremely well.
Fouts ran out to his own 27 for the first down for San Diego. 11:20 remaining in the first quarter and no score. And on first down, motion by Williams. Here's a toss to Thomas. He is tackled for a loss inside the 25-yard line. And it was Tom Jackson, the linebacker, blitzing on the play. He roughed up the ball carrier a little bit, not illegally, but he did spun him down back at the 23, and a loss of 4 yards on the play.
Jackson really
move, can he?
Yes, and Jackson really had great anticipation, read the play perfectly. It was a quick toss to the outside, but he got across the line of scrimmage, and there was no chance whatsoever to make any progress on the play.
They're playing for the Marbles here tonight for the AFC Western Division title. The ball is now at the 23. Second down and 14 for the Chargers. They have 3 wide receivers. And here's Fouts back to throw. He swings it out on a screen pass left. It's hauled in by Williams. He is tackled on the 27, the original line of scrimmage. And it's going to be third down and 10, and Gradishar was there again.
He is really something. He gets good depth and gets to where he's supposed to be, and then puts himself in a good tackling position, which is so important. A good tackling position means that you have to bend your knees, keep your head up, and don't overcommit yourself until you see what the ball carrier is going to do, watch that number, and then go ahead and make the tackle, run him right into the ground. That's exactly what he did.
Artie Owens checks in, and now Fouts comes to the sideline to talk it over. We have 9:58 remaining in the first quarter. A timeout on the field with a score. San Diego nothing and Denver nothing.
Looking at the rest of the games played on Sunday, the last full weekend of the regular season, O.J. Simpson closed out his NFL career by carrying the ball just twice. His San Francisco 49ers closed out their season with a 31-21 loss to the Atlanta Falcons. It was the 49ers' 14th defeat of the season. Minnesota's Iron Man defensive end Jim Marshall played his last NFL game as his Vikings fell to the New England Patriots 27-23. The Pats put 20 points on the board in the final period. And Don McCauley scored a pair of touchdowns as the Baltimore Colts topped the New York Giants 31-7. Cincinnati Bengals head coach Homer Rice and all his assistants were fired today by general manager Paul Brown. Bengals have posted identical 4-12 records the past 2 seasons, including an 8-19 mark since Rice took over as head coach early last season. Although Brown says he was not interviewed any potential candidates, he says he has some people in mind. He says the new head coach has to have a strong type of personality, someone who knows the game.
An early timeout has been employed by Dan Fouts and the Chargers, whose John Jefferson, by the way, has not appeared in the game so far. He caught 61 passes during the regular season, less than Charlie Joyner, who caught 69, but what a great receiver that Jefferson is.
And, of course, they spray the ball around so well. They hit the backs a lot. Williams has caught 46, and Mike Thomas, 32.
3 wide receivers, Owens, Burton, and Floyd on third down and 9 from their own 28 for the Chargers. Fouts calls the play. He's back to throw. He has a lot of time. He throws short. Incomplete. Incomplete at the 30-yard line. Trying to get it out to Mike Thomas, who's running back, but covering with Tom Jackson. Jackson is a linebacker. He's not very big. He weighs 228, smaller than some, but he's like a fifth defensive back the way he roams around out there. And now the punt is forthcoming from Jeff West. He's only had a 36-yard average. Dave Preston is back to receive the punt on his 30-yard line. The kick by West is not too hot, taken by the up man on the 40-yard line, and Denver will have good field position after a 32-yard punt, and the tackle was made on the 41-yard line. The tackle was made by Hank Power, and Denver gets the ball for the second time. First down at their own 41 for the Broncos. They have quite a few supporters in the crowd here. And here is Morton back to throw to the right sideline. Caught inside the 40-yard line. And a big gain as Morton was right on target on his first throw to Haven Moses.
Yeah, it's a nice-looking play-action pass.
And when he has time, Hank.
That's right. He's going to shoot your eyes out. Moses made a good down-and-out pattern. Had plenty of time to throw the ball, slow down the rush with a play-action fake, and Denver has good field position after that 27-yard gain to Haven Moses.
the ball is at the 32-yard line of San Diego and an early threat for the Broncos. They start Moses in motion, and they give it to the tailback Armstrong on a slant to the right, and he is upended right at the 30-yard line. He got 2 yards.
Otis Armstrong.
He was tackled by Ray Preston. You ought to hear the
3 yards. Tackled by number 52, Ray
San Diego people talk about Preston, their outside linebacker. Never gets any notoriety, but he's a good one.
Hey, and the fact that he's got 5 interceptions, that's really something, isn't it? You know, one thing, Jack, we can look for, from the I formation, the linebacker on the split inside, low is playing inside of the formation. They should be able to run outside against that formation. Let's see if they do that as they go along.
Morton back to throw on 2nd and 9. Over the middle, caught at the 25-yard line. The tackle made immediately on the receiver, Haven Moses, by Mike Fuller. Moses an upcharge to the wide receivers. An upcharge is less than full speed tonight. He has an Achilles problem, but he's in there nonetheless, and he demands a lot of attention.
Yes, and even though he has a little problem, he's still so fast that you still have to worry about him. And the fact that he's caught 6 of 3 passes coming into this game is certainly a concern to the San Diego Chargers.
It is 3rd down and 2 from the 25 of San Diego. Preston and Jensen are now the running backs for the Broncos. Morton's back to throw for it. To the right sideline and caught for a first down inside the 20, out of bounds near the 18-yard line. Preston caught the ball, and Morton is zipping that pigskin tonight.
And the important thing is that he's got time to throw the ball. The protection with the people up front is very good. Throws out to the outside
7 yards on
to Dave Preston.
First down, Denver.
And does a good job on Ray Preston that time, licking him in the flat. It was a one-on-one, and he licked him on that pass into the flat area.
That was Preston, the running back, against Preston, the linebacker, and a first down at the 18 of San Diego. It's now Keyworth and Armstrong. A give to Armstrong. Pretty good block by Keyworth, but Armstrong could only gain a yard over the right side. And they are running at
Number 99, Wilbur Young. And number 20.
the defensive end, Leroy Jones, on the left side rather than Dean on the other side.
Yes, and the last time, as we talked about it earlier, the last time we saw this team play defensively, Oakland Reedy went after Dean and did a good job of moving the football over that left side. Of course, they run good against everybody, especially when they run left.
Riley Odom's back to action after missing 3 games, tight end on the right side. One of the Chargers came across and made contact. A flag was thrown as Gary Johnson made contact. We'll see whether he was drawn off or not. It was 2nd and 9, but we shall see.
Encroachment defense, number 79.
We'll make it 2nd down and 4 with Charlie Johnson. Gary Johnson. 7.5 left in the first quarter. No scoring thus far in the game. You often see it like this, Hank, where a big crowd, a lot of excitement, a lot at stake. But things start off in a really dull fashion, although Denver does have a drive going now. The ball is to the 12-yard line. Armstrong and Jensen in the backfield. It's at the 12 of San Diego. Here is a give to Armstrong running right, trying to get outside, gets inside the 10. A flag goes down. Armstrong had carried down near the 7-yard line for a first down, but the flag came down as Johnson made the tackle.
And a penalty flag on the play.
I don't know what it was. Possibly.
The flag came late, didn't it?
Yes, I don't know whether it's a face mask or what it was.
Face mask is what it is. Against Willie Buchanan playing the left corner. It's going to be 1st and goal for Denver. And we'll listen to the referee.
Face mask, number 28, defense, 5 yards, first down.
It's at the 3. 1st and goal at the 3. Pretty good drive by Denver with the passing of Morton, aided by that penalty. Here's Morton back to throw into the end zone, incomplete. He tried to get it to his running back, Keyworth, in the end zone, but Ray Preston, the linebacker, was there protecting. What do you think of the call, Hank?
Well, if you're going to throw a play-action pass, it's a good time to throw it on first down because they're in there very tight. Except San Diego responded very well to what they saw that time, and Dave Studdard, number 70, was a tight end on the play, and he was the guy they were trying to hit.
They had 2 of them in the end zone. They were very close together.
Yeah, it was a bad-looking pattern.
2nd and goal from the 3. the Broncos.
Looks like something right would be appropriate.
Larry Canada is in the backfield. Here's a give to Armstrong running right, and he dances in. He goes over from 3 yards out. Larry Canada, the blocking back came one way, and Armstrong went the other.
Yes, it was a counter play with a fullback going up the middle, and it was cleaned out beautifully that time. And Armstrong has such great speed and quickness that anytime he gets any kind of a seam, he's got a good chance to make the play go.
So it's the Broncos out in front. And Jim Turner, though he has a bad groin, will try this extra point. He's made 31 out of 33 this year.
Tom Glassick, the left guard, did a good job of trapping on the play.
Turner pops it through the upright to make it 7-0 with 7:19 remaining in the first quarter. And with the score, Denver 7, San Diego 0. Let's take time out.
Let's check the standings now in the National Football League. As of the moment, this is the final standings, other than, of course, Denver and San Diego. In the American Football Conference in the East, Miami wins it with a record of 10-6, followed by New England 9-7, Jets 8-8, Buffalo 7-9, and Baltimore 5-11. In the Central, Pittsburgh wins it 12-4, followed by Houston 11-5, Cleveland 9-7, Cincinnati 4-12. In the West, San Diego 11-4, Denver 10-5, Oakland and Seattle 9-7, and Kansas City's record 7 wins and 9 defeats. Looking now at the National Conference in the East, Dallas wins it after beating Washington yesterday, 11-5. Eagles 11-5. Washington 10-6. Giants 6-10, and St. Louis 5-11. In the Central, Tampa Bay takes that division, 10-6. Chicago also the same record, but Tampa Bay having the best against their own common opponents. Minnesota 7-9. Green Bay 5-11. Detroit 2-14. The West, Los Angeles 9-7. New Orleans 8-8. Atlanta 6-10, and San Francisco 2-14.
Following a poor punt by Jeff West, which only carried to the Denver 41, the Broncos went 59 yards in 8 plays and went in for the first score. Armstrong from 3 yards out. Here's the kick by Steinfort. It goes down to Artie Owens, who took it on the 2. He's to the 5-10, running left, 15, 20, up the middle, 25, out to the 30-yard line. Goes Artie Owens, and finally stopped by Steve Watson, the wide receiver of the Broncos. 28-yard return. Larry Canada made the tackle. He's a pretty good special teams player for the Broncos.
Yes, they like him. He does a lot of things, and he did a good job on that play, making a tackle.
So this is the third time that San Diego's had the ball. 7:07 left in the first quarter. Thomas and Williams are in the backfield. Thomas carries the ball, dips outside, has to cut back. A flag goes down, and you would kind of guess holding from the spot the flag was thrown. Lewis Wright came up from the corner to make the tackle on Mike Thomas. It's going to be against San Diego. They're having a little difficulty getting on track here tonight, aren't they?
Yes, they are. They really are. And, of course, you know, it's difficult to win big games if you can't run the ball decently, Jack. And they won a lot of big games.
Here's a 5-yard penalty.
Illegal motion, offense, number 70, first down.
It's a motion call, and it was against Russ Washington, the right tackle. It's 1st and 15 from the 25. Larry Burton goes to the left, and John Floyd, the rookie from Northeast Louisiana, wide receiver right side.
See if the tight end goes in motion. There he goes.
There's Klein in motion, Fouts back to throw. Throws off to the right side, caught at the 30, coughed up, incomplete. Incomplete is the call. It was swung out to Mike Thomas, and he was blasted by Gradishar and Bob Swenson, the 2 linebackers. It'll be 2nd and 15.
Gradishar is amazing. You know, he does such a good job on the run, and all of a sudden, you throw a pass, and he's right there, back there making a play on the pass.
He gets a lot of publicity, but deservedly so. 2nd down, 15. These Chargers have averaged only 105 yards rushing per game. They had difficulty getting it established at times. Here's Fouts back to throw again. Pass, pass, pass. The pass is caught outside the 30-yard line by John Floyd. He is spun down at the 32, and it's going to be 3rd down and 8 for the Chargers. The tackler was Tom Jackson, the linebacker.
I think as we go along, we'll see them throwing an awful lot at Steve Foley, number 43, the right cornerback. Not that Steve isn't a good football player, except they have Louis Wright on the other side, who they respect so much, and I'm sure they're going to feature that other side instead of throwing and challenging Louis Wright.
It is third down and 8.5. We'll call it 9 yards for the Chargers. They have Floyd and Burton to the right side. Klein, the tight end, is on the left side. Fouts back to throw again. And throws, and broken up, incomplete beyond the 40-yard line. It hit one of the Bronco defenders who had his back to the play. Bob Swenson happened to be in the area. Fouts was off target. And it's going to be Jeff West in to kick again.
Well, he didn't say Larry Burton. Larry Burton was wide open coming across the middle. He ran kind of a delayed pattern, but he made up his mind to throw the ball to the tight end, Klein, and he was faded. Would have been hard to make that completion.
6:08 left in the first quarter as West does the punting, and Dave Preston waits for it. West gets this one high in the air, and Preston lets it bounce. It bounces inside the 30, rolls inside the 25, down near the 20, inside the 20. A dandy punt sends Denver way back to their own 15-yard line. 5:54 left in the quarter. A pause in the action, and let's take time out.
Earl Campbell won the NFL's rushing crown for the second year in a row when he picked up 134 yards in less than a half a game against the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday. Campbell finished the season with 1,697 yards, 87 more than Walter Payton of the Chicago Bears. St. Louis rookie Otis Anderson went into the final game of the year with a 3-yard edge on Campbell, but gained only 39 yards against the Bears before leaving the game with an injury. Campbell also scored 19 touchdowns on the ground this year, tying the record set by former Green Bay star Jim Taylor. Also, talking about Campbell, Coach Bum Phillips of Houston says NFL rushing champion Earl Campbell is being roughed up illegally by some opposing players when out of bounds. Phillips took time out today to call league officials and explain his feelings to reporters, though he's starting preparations for the Oilers' first home playoff game since 1960. On Sunday, Houston plays host to the loser of tonight's Denver-San Diego game.
Charlie Joyner, who had an injured back earlier in the game, went to the dressing room. He has just returned to the playing field. It's been a lovely day here in San Diego. It was about 75 degrees at 68 now. The Broncos are back at their own 16-yard line. Broncos lead 7-0. 5:54 left in the first quarter. And the Broncos going from our right to our left. And the give is to the fullback, and a fake to the fullback, and the pass downfield. And incomplete. He tried to hit Haven Moses after a very good fake, and Moses is covered heavily by Mike Williams on the corner. Moses can fly.
Yes, he can, but the other thing that was very important on the play is that Morton Reedy made a great fake on the play. It looked like he had given the ball to the fullback, and he then stood up, teed the ball down the field, but Moses was well guarded on the play by Mike Williams.
Morton is 3 out of 5 for 38 yards. There's been one turnover here. Denver intercepted a pass early in the game. Morton now on second down and 10. Hands the ball off to his running back, Preston, and he is spun down right at the line of scrimmage and driven back. Big defensive play by Leroy Jones, the defensive end, who's playing up front with Wilbur Young, Gary Johnson, and Fred Dean. Ray Preston, Bob Horn, and Woody Lowe, the linebackers.
You know, you got to say a lot about what a great job Wilbur Young has done for the San Diego Charger team. He's 6'6", 290, played 9 years, and we drafted him initially from William Penn College in Iowa when I was in Kansas City, but he is a terrific player. We use him as a defensive end, and of course he's playing defensive tackle and doing a great job.
3rd and 13 for the Broncos. Here's Morton straight back to throw. He throws out here to the sideline, and heavy traffic, but a great reception for a first down for Denver. Riley Odoms, the tight end, who is playing with a steel plate and screws in his left forearm, had a broken arm only a month ago, and was he gutsy to catch that ball?
Well, he did, and somebody came in on Morton that time, Williams, blitzing on the play. I don't know how he got the ball off, and furthermore, how Odoms really made that catch. It was really a terrific catch.
4:31 remaining in the first quarter, and that was good for 14 yards and a first down. The ball is out to their 27 as Morton has brought them away from their own goal line. And on first down with Moses in motion, he gives the ball to the tailback, and the play carries out to the 30-yard line for a pickup of 3 yards. Gary Johnson tackled Dave Preston. And it's going to be 2nd down and 7. Broncos really look good here tonight.
Yes, and of course you get the impression that they're really trying to challenge the inside area of the defensive structure of the San Diego Chargers and working specifically on Bob Horn, the middle linebacker, who is 6'4", 230. But they must feel they can do some work on him because they've been running at him quite a bit.
Second down and 7 for the Broncos now. Morton is back to throw. He little short swing pass is caught. A flag has gone down. The play carries out across the 40-yard line as it was hauled in by Jensen out of the backfield. Ray Preston ran him out, but would check the flag. It was second down and 7 for the Broncos. They really dominated the first quarter. And in the period, 3:35 remaining. And offside is called against San Diego, so the play will stand, and it'll be another first down.
He hit a 14 yards on the pass play.
On the pass to Jensen.
First down Broncos. You know, you take this team, I'm talking about Denver, piece by piece, and they're not really that overly impressive offensively, but all they do is win. It's a great credit to Red Miller and his fine staff.
Sometimes you wonder how they score points, but they score enough to win. Here is the running play popping across the 45-yard line over the left side to John Keyworth. They keep swinging these backs in and out. Gary Johnson, the tackler. They've used Armstrong, Keyworth, Jensen, Preston, and Canada so far in the backfield. And they're without Rob Lytle, who's a real workhorse when he's available.
Of course, the nice thing about it is Otis Armstrong, 24, is such a breakaway threat that any time you get the ball to him, he can get a big play for you with any kind of a opportunity, any kind of scheme. He can really fly.
Denver is leading 7-0, and they have a second down and 7 from their own 47-yard line. Morton is back to throw. Sets up, throws long, high. Boy, that ball, I guess he just threw it away. He saw the heavy traffic around Rick Upchurch, who had attracted all kinds of company, and another flag has been thrown holding Denver. You don't see these refused very often.
No, you sure don't. Not especially the way Denver is moving the football. And Otis Armstrong went in motion to the right that time, and there was nobody out there at all, but he never looked at him whatsoever and tried to get the ball downfield through way, way over the top.
Now Keyworth checks out. Larry Canada is in at fullback. And the referee, Ray Heberling, will mark the ball down at the 38 of Denver.
Holding. Offense. Number 70. Second down.
That was Dave Studdard, second-year man out of Texas. And it is second down and 17 for the Broncos.
And Jerome Dove comes in, 48 as the fifth back for the San Diego Chargers.
New football is put into play. Bill Bryan is the center. Vlasic and Hauer are the guards. Studdard and Claudia Minor are the offensive tackles for the Broncos.
You know, San Diego plays an awful lot of double zone, meaning that they cover the outside receivers, the tight end, and the back.
There's a little swing pass, and it's caught out here by Larry Canada. He moves across the 40-yard line, across the 45 before he's bumped out of bounds.
Larry Canada. He's stopped by number 4.
And the ball is marked down on the Denver 48.
And the way they play that defense is imperative that they hit the tight end and also the back, which they did on that last play.
Third down and 7 for the Broncos. 2:42 left in the first quarter. Armstrong goes out. Preston and Jim Jensen are in the backfield now for the Broncos. Broncos leading here 7-0. Moses and Upchurch both come to the left, and Riley Odom splits right. Preston sets up as a flanker on the right side. On third down, Morton fakes the draw, back to throw, looks and dumps it off short. It's caught across midfield. The tackle is made on the 47 on Keyworth, and it is short of a first down, and Denver's going to have to punt it.
Riley Odom that time got a slow release off the line of scrimmage. The linebacker on his side really did a good job of jamming him. That's Ray Preston, but he popped wide open, but evidently Morton didn't see him, and it's a lot easier to see him up here than it is down below, as you know, Jack.
So that holding penalty was something Denver were not able to overcome, and they'll have to kick with Luke Prestige in there to kick it. Mike Fuller back to get it. Prestige has averaged 40 yards a kick. He's a rookie out of Baylor. Big kid at 6'4", 235. 2:34 remaining in the first quarter. And there's a player injured on the far side of the field, and a timeout on the field. With 2:34 remaining. Well, what do you think, Hank, of the action so far?
Well, I'm very surprised. I really, what a high-powered offense this is. San Diego, I'm talking about. so far in this first quarter, I'm very surprised the way Denver is dominating the game.
San Diego came out throwing. That's the way they do it. Fouts, their quarterback, has had 6 300-yard games in passing. But as you said earlier, it's very difficult to win against a good defensive club like Denver without running the ball some.
Yes, right. And you have to be so precise with the passing game, the short, patient style of passing that they feature. If you throw the ball incorrectly and get it a little high, all of a sudden it ricochets off a guy's shoulder pad or a hand, and all of a sudden you're back on defense, and it makes it very difficult if you can't control the line of scrimmage and run the ball reasonably well.
And when you set out to pass and you're without John Jefferson and Charlie Joyner ailing a little bit, you're going to have to rely on that running game more and more.
Yes, you really suffer. You really do suffer, and it makes it that much more difficult for you to move the football because you rely so much on the big plays of the forward pass, and when you don't have that, well, it's tough to get used to traveling as slowly as you have to when you don't run the ball any better than they do.
Prestige is kicking from his own 40. No pressure, and he thumps it toward the end zone, toward the right sideline. And it is taken by the receiver, Pete Shaw, who steps out of bounds on his 1-yard line. Well, what about that? A 46-yard punt, and Pete Shaw made a terrible mistake. He caught the ball and stepped out of bounds at his 1-yard line, and now
there's a penalty on the play.
A penalty on the play, and let's see what happens.
It's against Denver, I'm sure.
I bet Pete Shaw's happy about that.
You must know where you are at all times, and he evidently didn't know that. Let's listen for the call.
Ineligible man down the field, number 35. Fourth down.
For the Broncos, Larry Canada was downfield before the ball was kicked, and he wasn't allowed to do so because he was not one of the 2 wide receivers. So now Mike Fuller stands inside his 15-yard line. So he says to Pete Shaw, leave the ball alone, I'll catch it. Here's the kick by Prestige. And he thumps it high. There is good coverage. The ball is taken on a fair catch by Shaw. And the line of scrimmage will be the 20-yard line of San Diego. A 37-yard punt. Frequently, Hank, when there's no pressure on that kicker, he'll take his time before he kicks it, and that's when you get that ineligible man downfield.
Yes, that's exactly right. And sometimes, when you take too much time, the kickers have such a basic rhythm established. Sometimes when they have more time than they normally have, they kick poorly, too.
2:20 left in the first quarter. San Diego gets the ball again. And they have Williams and Thomas in the backfield. And Fouts gives the ball to Thomas running right. Cuts it back up, gets to the 22, and is driven back. Ran into the arms of Bob Swenson and Joe Rizzo. Those linebackers on Denver, and they play the 3-4, are very good.
Yes, and especially if you try to carry the ball from the left side of the football all the way across the field against this Denver team, boy, it's like fighting City Hall. It's tough to get there because by the time you get there, the linebackers are there, and that time Thomas running to his right, had the ball in the left arm again, Jack. Boy, it's dangerous.
It is Burton and Floyd, the wide receivers. Klein, the tight end, on the left side. Second down, and Fouts back to throw. Looks and throws. Short, incomplete. Maybe a flag, no flag. There was quick contact by Bob Swenson. Some of the fans thought a flag should be forthcoming. I was half looking for it myself.
Yes, I really thought it was a pretty good play on the defensive part. They were trying to hit Bob Klein, but I thought overall, they did a good job defensively, and I didn't think there was really a penalty on the play.
It'll be 3rd down and 8 from their own 22 for the Chargers. Fouts is 4 out of 9. He's had 1 intercepted, and the Chargers have gained only 7 yards rushing. And he got most of that.
Joyner's in the game now in the slot for formation. They've got double wings.
Back to throw is Fouts. He throws to the sideline on the money to Joyner across the 40-yard line and out of bounds. A first down. Charlie Joyner hauled it in. Steve Foley ran him out and was Fouts perfect with that throw.
Boy, he was right on the money, and of course Joyner was in a slot position on the left side, just went down into the outside and did a good job on Steve Foley, number 43. But that's what they like to do. They want to work on Foley, I'm sure, and they did it exactly to perfection on that last play.
A pickup of 22 yards out to their own 44 for the Chargers. There's center Bob Rush out over the ball. Floyd and Burton are the wide receivers. Thomas is out on a wing. Back to throw his Fouts on first down and throws, and he's got a man. It's caught inside the 40 of Denver. And and that's Joyner, and that's Floyd, and he is out of bounds at the 37-yard line. The rookie, John Floyd, caught it. Steve Foley ran him out. Why are they picking on him, Hank?
Well, Foley, I think, is a very fine football player. Good force man. But he does not have the great speed that you need on the corner, and I think any time that you can find him in there one-on-one, as I mentioned earlier, they're going to work on him rather than try to do some work on Louis Wright, and that's what they're featuring so far in this game.
We have 55 seconds left in the quarter. The ball is now at the Denver 37. Burton and Floyd are wide, and on first down, Fouts gives the ball to Williams up the middle. He moves inside the 25 and just to the 25, as it turns out. Got 2 yards. They're so reluctant to run the ball, Hank. It almost seems like a sacrifice for Fouts when he runs that ball.
Yeah, they don't like to do it. They just like to do it often enough to keep him honest, but they really basically want to pump the ball up and get it up in the air.
And the play carried to the 35 at Denver. The Broncos are leading here 7-0 with 20 seconds left in the first quarter, and it's 2nd down and 8 for the Chargers. Williams is the lone setback, and Fouts back to throw. He looks, he throws inside the 30. It's incomplete. Inside the 30-yard line, incomplete with 10 seconds left in the first quarter.
Tom Jackson did a good job of covering on the play. Very nonchalantly knocked the ball down as it was coming to the inside, but there again, that time they were trying to help the outside people with double coverage, and with that being the situation, the only way you can throw the ball, the only place you can throw it is down the middle or to the back.
Well, that linebacker speed on your football team is so important.
Just speed, period, is so important. If you got good speed, which they have in quickness, you really got a great football team.
It is 3rd down and 8 from the Denver 35 as Fouts is back to throw again. Steps up in the pocket, runs out of the pocket, cuts back at the 35 and is spun down short of a first down at about the 33-yard line. Fouts was chased out of the pocket, tackled by Tom Jackson, and it's going to be 4th down when we start the second quarter. That's the end of the first quarter with a score. Denver 7, San Diego Chargers nothing.
Getting back to the charge by Houston's coach, Bum Phillips, today that his NFL rushing champion, Earl Campbell, is being roughed up illegally by some opposing players and out of bounds. Phillips said the most flagrant out-of-bounds treatment of Campbell came during last week's Monday night contest against the Pittsburgh Steelers, though he didn't cite specific incidents in the game. Then during Houston's 26-0 loss to Philadelphia yesterday, Phillips says Campbell was 4 feet out of bounds when defensive end Carl Harrison dove into the back of his leg. No penalties have been called as a result of any of the incidents. Phillips said league officials do not think the hit was flagrant. Dallas Cowboys are the first team in National Football League history to have 3 players gain 1,000 yards, either rushing or receiving in a single season. Running back Tony Dorsett finished the year with 1,107 yards on the ground. Also, he missed yesterday's game against Washington with an injured shoulder. Drew Pearson had 1,026 yards receiving, and flanker Tony Hill wound up the year with 1,062 yards. And Bart Starr says he expects to coach the Green Bay Packers again next season. The Packers finished the season with a 5-11 record. And Starr says he's not about to quit until he gets the job done. He has 2 years left on his contract. Other sports tonight in the National Hockey League. Toronto's at Minnesota. That game is underway. College basketball, Kentucky at Georgia, Montana State at Oregon State, and Oklahoma City will visit Arkansas.
In the first quarter, Denver had the ball, 7 minutes, 57 seconds. San Diego, 7:03. Here is Mike Wood about to try a 51-yard field goal for the Chargers. Mike Wood out of southeast Missouri. Fuller holding. 7-0 Broncos lead. Wood kicks it. It's short. It's going to be short. It was a little bit off to the right also. And short. The ball will come back out to the line of scrimmage. And the Broncos will take it over. Funny how all of that enthusiasm fades for a football club when they're unable to get anything done out there, Hank. The crowd quiets down and everything else.
I think it's very important when you play away from home on Monday night especially that when you're the visiting team, you better score early to quiet down that crowd because it makes a big difference and helps your performance as you go along.
From their own 33 with Jensen and Armstrong. Here's the toss to Armstrong running right. Gets to the 35, and he is spun out near the 38-yard line, and he got 5 yards on the play. This is a chance with Rob Lytle out for Otis Armstrong to regain his previous position with these Broncos. Bob Horn, the middle linebacker, ran him out, and they gave him forward progress to the 39, a gain of 6, 2nd and 4 coming up.
The right linebacker, when they're in the I formation, is playing inside of the defensive right end. For that reason, it's going to be much better for them to run away from that area, or if they can hook the tackle, to run outside to that spot or throw a pass. It should be very vulnerable.
2nd and 4. Motion by Haven Moses. Here's a toss to Armstrong, running right. Canada with a good block and a first down for Denver. Out of bounds near their own 45-yard line. Larry Canada really crumbled somebody out there, and Willie Buchanan made the tackle.
But they have a good scheme because of the way they're playing. That linebacker on the weak side, running strong side, should be very effective, and it has been in the last 2 plays.
Out to the Denver 45. Jensen is back in at fullback now for the Broncos, who lead 7-0. 14-10 left in the half. Upchurch and Moses are to the left. Odom's the tight end on the right side. Morton back to throw on first down. Steps up, is sacked. Fumble, loose ball. Picked up by San Diego. They have it on the Denver 41. Leroy Jones recovered the fumble. Fred Dean made the hit on Morton.
He did a good job of picking that ball up that time. Dean made the tackle.
Jones picked it up.
Usually we see them try to pick it up, and they kick it, and they wind up not getting possession. He had good control of it that time.
So it's a turnover for each team now. 1 for each. And Fouts on first down from the 41 is back to throw. Fakes the screen, wants to unload, throws it short, over the middle, out inside the 25, about playing the tight end for a first down, down to the Denver 21-yard line. Fouts to Klein.
Well, they're making it, they come back to life again, this crowd. A 20-yard gain that time from Fouts to Klein.
Fouts takes the screen, looked like he wanted to throw deep, and then found Klein, the tight end, over the middle.
Yeah, he faked the screen to the outside and then threw right down the middle, as you say, to Klein.
Floyd and Burton are the wide receivers for the Chargers. They're going from our right to our left. Have a first down at the Denver 21. Fouts is back to throw. He looks, throws. It's caught inside the 15-yard line. And the tackle is made immediately by Louis Wright, and a pickup of about 9 yards on the play. It was caught by Larry Burton, who is in his 5th year now, out of Purdue. And Fouts is red hot all of a sudden.
Yes, he's right on target with that one, and Larry Burton made a nice move there to get a good catch. He came into the game with only 2 catches. That makes number 3 for the season. But a very big catch, an important catch for the San Diego Chargers.
A pickup of 9 yards, and it's 2nd down and 1 from the Denver 13-yard line. They're in the I formation. And the give is to the tailback, and Thomas gets the first down inside the 10 to the 5. He's down to the 4 on a slant to the right side. Tackled by Louis Wright, 1st and goal, San Diego.
The right tackle, Russ Washington, did a good job on Chavez. Number 79, the left end. And so did the fullback, Clarence Williams, do a good job of blocking at the point of attack.
2 tight ends are in there. Greg McCrary joins Bob Klein. Hank Bauer, who has scored 8 touchdowns, is in the backfield with Clarence Williams. 1st and goal from the 4 for the Chargers, who trail by 7.
Looks like they might run left.
Here is a toss to Williams, running left, cuts it back, hit at the 5, got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. Penetration was made by Foley up from the corner very early. And Evans finished him off, the linebacker. Foley made a good play.
Yes, he did. He does that. He comes up and forces well, and is a good tackler, but he's a little suspect on coverage, especially if you can get him one-on-one.
So no gain by Clarence Williams. 2nd and goal from the 4. Bauer in the backfield with Williams. Fouts back to throw, rolling right, looking to run. Heads for the end zone, touchdown! And what a block out in front of him by Ed White, the guard.
Yes, he made a super block, didn't he? And Randy Gradishar, number 53.
Let me tell you again what this game is all about. The winner gets the title in the Western Division of the AFC. They get a week off. And in San Diego's case, they'll get home games until they lose. The loser plays at Houston next Sunday. Mike Wood tries to tie it up. They snap from center with Lowe. Well handled, however, by the set man, Mike Fuller, and the kick is good. And we have a tie game. 11:07 left in the half. With a score, Denver 7, San Diego 7. Let's take time out.
Let's look at the National Football League playoffs. Philadelphia Eagles coach Dick Vermeil doesn't think his team got a break when Chicago squeezed in ahead of Washington for the final wild card berth in the National Conference. The Eagles haven't played the Bears since 1975, and Vermeil says it will take a lot more to prepare for the Bears than it would for Dallas or Washington, two teams the Eagles play twice this season. Philadelphia and Chicago open the NFC playoffs in Veterans Stadium next Sunday. If Philadelphia wins, the Eagles will advance against Tampa Bay, and Dallas will play Los Angeles. Now, if Chicago wins, the Bears will play the Cowboys, and the Buccaneers will take on the Rams. Another football note, Denver linebacker Tom Jackson will replace Jack Ham of the Pittsburgh Steelers on the AFC team for next month's Pro Bowl in Honolulu. Ham suffered an ankle injury last weekend and will be sidelined the remainder of the season.
San Diego recovered the Morton fumble on the Denver 41. And it took them 5 plays to go those 41 yards and tie it up. Chris Payne is back along with Dave Preston, waiting at the goal line for the kick from Mike Wood. And the kick heads for Preston. He takes it smack on the goal line. He's to the 5, 10, 15, up the middle to the 20, to the 25, to the 30-yard line, out to the 32 comes Dave Preston, the running back out of Bowling Green. And it was a 31-yard return. The tackle made by Don Good, the San Diego linebacker.
31-yard line, 32-yard return.
That old fumble did the Broncos in, didn't it?
Yeah, it usually does. In this kind of a big game, the turnovers really make the difference.
There's been one for each club. San Diego was intercepted, Denver fumbled. Broncos are at their own 31-yard line.
See if they run right here.
Motion by Moses. Here's a give to the up back, Jensen. He got a yard on a slant over the right side. Willie Buchanan came roaring up from the corner to make the tackle.
Jensen. 2 yards. Tackle.
Do they miss Lytle an awful lot on this Denver club?
Well, I think they miss him, but I really think that Armstrong has so much great speed that I think the more that you play him, the more opportunity he has to do something with the football, the more chance you have of a big play.
Rob Lytle has been operated on with a bad knee. He was a real workhorse. He can catch the ball, too. That's one facet they may miss here tonight. 2nd down and 9 for the Broncos. Morton starts his man in motion. That's Moses. And Craig is back to throw. Has time and throws. And incomplete to Larry Canada. Off his hands at the 41-yard line. A perfectly thrown ball by Morton was dropped by Larry Canada, and it'll be 3rd and 9.
Well, those kind of misses really hurt because that ball was right on target. And the other thing that was so important, he had plenty of time to throw the ball, and the receiver, Canada, was wide open. Nobody around him.
Let's pause 5 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the CBS Radio Network.
This is the American Forces Radio and Television Service.
Greg Morton is 7 out of 11. And he faces 3rd and 9 from his own 32. He's back to throw. He's rushed, he throws. It is caught at the 45-yard line and then incomplete. A big hit was made on Riley Odom by little Mike Fuller, and then Bob Horn jolted him. The ball came loose, incomplete. I thought Riley had that one.
I did too, and I was amazed how well Morton threw the ball. It was right on target. But in the process of bringing it down, it was jarred loose, like you mentioned, by Mike Fuller, number 42.
Fuller really undressed him, didn't he?
Well, he really gave him a shot with those shoulder pads, and that's what it's all about.
Prestige will kick from about his 20. Shaw and Fuller are back waiting for it. It's a line drive kick, and it is taken by Shaw at the 28. He's to the 30, to the 35, and returns it out to his own 37, 38-yard line. A 39-yard punt. San Diego scored moments ago. They have the ball back. 9:55 left in the half. A timeout on the field with a score. 7-7 Denver and San Diego.
New University of New Mexico Athletic Director John Bridgers said today he considers University of Tennessee Chattanooga football coach Joe Morrison a strong candidate for the vacant football coaching job at UNM. Bridgers declined comment about the chances Philadelphia Eagles defensive coach Chuck Clausen might be selected for the post. Meanwhile, New Mexico basketball coach Norm Ellenbarger has been fired. Ellenberger's dismissal comes in the wake of a scandal involving alleged irregularities in the transcripts of the team's players. University President William Davis followed the recommendation of the school's athletic council. The council decided last week that Ellenberger had violated regulations of the school, the Western Athletic Conference, and the NCAA. Davis called Ellenberger's actions willful and grossly incompetent conduct and injurious to the University of New Mexico basketball program. The 47-year-old Ellenberger was in the final year of a 3-year contract with the Lobos. He's been head coach at New Mexico since 1972, compiling a 134-62 record in 7 seasons.
Talking Hank Stram with you from San Diego. Getting a little cooler here, but it's still probably at the 60 mark here in San Diego tonight. We have 9:55 remaining in the first half. The Chargers have that momentum going now. They got it after the Craig Morton fumble. They went in to score, and here they are right back with the ball.
This San Diego team, especially their offensive tacklers, remind me a lot of our big tacklers, Jim Tyler at Kansas City and Dave Hill. And, of course, we had 2 great guards in Ed Buddy and Mo Mormon, who are much bigger than the 2 guards who are playing for San Diego.
From their own 38, bounces back to throw. He throws short, and it is caught by the tight end Klein to the 45 of Denver. He is down at the 40-yard line. They give him forward progress with Bernard Thompson covering him along with Louis Wright.
Seldomly, as they run the ball, it's amazing that they're able to throw play-action passes as well as they throw them, but that's the nice thing about throwing them on 1st and 10.
To the Denver 40-yard line go the Chargers. Fouts is 9 out of 14, and he hands to the tailback, and it is Clarence Williams popping inside the 40, down to the 37-yard line. He got 3 yards. We'll come up on the 9-minute mark remaining in the half now. Denver was able to keep the ball last time for only about 2 minutes and had to punt it right back to San Diego.
You know, the way this Denver team responds to what they see, that time there were about 4 or 5 orange shirts around the ball carrier. Some kind of a reverse where they fake one way and go the other way. It should be very effective somewhere along the line of this football game.
Joyner is back in there. He comes left and now goes in motion right. On 2nd down and 7, Fouts back to throw, and he gets rid of it. It's caught at the 30-yard line. Down to the 35 and down to the 20. And out of bounds goes Joyner, but a flag is down, and it might be against Denver. And Fouts was really walloped just as he threw the ball. Holding San Diego. So instead of having the ball at the Denver 17, they'll be penalized.
Yes, and he really did a good job of getting rid of the football that time. He had to throw it falling away. Got it right on the numbers, but there was a holding penalty on the play. Let's listen for the call.
8:35 remaining here in the first half. They needed to put another football into play, so things are a little slow at the moment. Now from the line of scrimmage, they mark off 10 yards and put the ball down on the Denver 47. And it's 2nd down and 17. Bob Klein is out, and the extra wide receiver in. Billy Shields, the tackle on the left side, was called for holding. Shields played at Georgia Tech. 3 wide receivers, Burton, Joyner, and Floyd are in. 2nd down and 17 from the Denver 47 for the Chargers.
Now they've got a double wing, double slot formation.
And Fouts goes back to throw. Steps up and throws. Caught by Burton at the 25 for a first down. Hit immediately. Dropped by Bill Thompson. Burton caught it at the 25-yard line of Denver.
Boy, it's another big catch by Larry Burton, who was an All-American at Purdue University. Played for the New Orleans Saints. They got him here as a free agent for the last game of the season last year, Jack, and they like him very much. He's a very inspirational kind of a player, and he feels good about the 2 catches that he just made.
The San Diego quarterback isn't bashful, is he?
No, he isn't.
He loves to throw. Joyner and Floyd are the wide receivers from the 25 of Denver. Score tied 7-7. 7:50 left in the half. Fouts back to throw. Looks and throws to the sideline, and it is intercepted at the 10-yard line by Denver. Steve Foley picked it off. His hip to the ear, and tremendous amount of indecision on the part of Fouts.
Yes, all you have to do is watch his feet, and any time the feet of the quarterback starts to do a little tap dance, you know he's in trouble. He's a little undecided. He's undecided as to where he's going to throw the football. He threw it under duress that time, and Foley did a good job of playing the quarterback, came up with the bad pass and the interception, and Denver dodged the bullet there.
And they have it at their own 10, and now with the score 7-7, let's take time out.
Duke University is back on top of the college basketball world in the latest weekly ratings by the UPI Board of Coaches. The Blue Devils moved up on the number 2 spot after last week's leader, Indiana, lost to Kentucky. Duke won its only contest last week to boost its record to 6-0. Ohio State, meanwhile, moved up 1 notch to the number 2 position, and Kentucky used its victory over the Hoosiers to jump from 5th to 3rd. Indiana is now number 4, and undefeated Notre Dame moved down to number 5 despite defeating UCLA. Louisiana State climbed 1 spot to number 6, and DePaul used their win over UCLA to advance 3 places to number 7. The Purdue Boilermakers tied the Blue Demons for 7th. Meanwhile, North Carolina and Syracuse fill out the top 10 teams. Looking at the second 10, Louisville number 11, followed by the Bruins of UCLA, Iowa, Virginia, St. John's of New York, Missouri, Georgetown, Brigham Young, Arkansas, and Oregon State. Top 20 teams this week, according to UPI.
2 fine college football teams, Brigham Young University and Indiana University, have their players here at the game. They'll be playing in the Holiday Bowl out here next Friday night at the stadium.
Yeah, we had a nice visit with Lee Corso before the game, and hopefully we might have a little visit with him at halftime.
From the 10-yard line, Denver has the ball, and the give is to Otis Armstrong, and out of the tailback in the eye, he pops up the middle, gets 2 yards only. San Diego just turned the ball over for the second time. The second interception against Fouts. Wilbur Young just made the tackle on Armstrong. We want to thank the Budget Rent-A-Car people here in San Diego for treating us so well. Second and 8 from their own 12. Larry Canada checks in for the Broncos. They're quarterbacked by Craig Morton, who is now 36 years old.
They're playing with a double tight end offense in this part of the field.
Armstrong running left, cuts it back up. He got only about a yard that time. So Denver back at their own goal line, starting at the 10, gained only 3 yards and 2 carries, and Fred Dean was the tackler.
You know, Fred Dean is a terrific defensive end, and he reminds me a great deal of a great player that we had at Kansas City, Jerry Mays, Captain Huzza. But Jerry was a little bigger, but they play very much alike, and they really do a great job at that defensive end position.
Broncos are still in the shadow of their own goal line. They're at their 13, and it is 3rd down and 7. Upchurch and Moses are the wide receivers. Morton's back to throw. He pops it off short to his running back, and it's a first down as Jensen came across the 20-yard line to the 21. Jensen knew how far he had to go, and the running back out of Iowa gives Denver a first down.
You know, San Diego doesn't use a great variety of things on defense either as far as coverage is concerned. They play a strong side zone where they double the flankers, and they also double the outside receivers, and that's basically what they like to do, and they do it very well. But against that kind of coverage, Morton recognized it quickly, got the ball to the fullback, and he did the rest by making the necessary yardage for the first down.
We're tied here 7-7 with 5:45 remaining in the half. Denver a first down at their own 21-yard line, and Morton gives to the up back. That's Larry Canada. He comes out to the 25. He got 4 yards. He's a big bruiser at 238 pounds. Woody Lowe tackled him. And it's going to be 2nd and 6. Broncos go from our left to our right. Try to hang on to the pigskin.
Very obvious that they continue to try to work right up the middle on the middle linebacker and the 2 defensive tackles. They evidently feel they can trap him and block the middle linebacker because they've been running up that way an awful lot in this game.
2nd down and 6. That middle linebacker is Bob Horn for San Diego. Here's Morton back to throw. Swings it out to the right sideline, and it is caught by Jensen. He is out of bounds at the 31. Very close to a first down.
He's knocked out of bounds by number 52.
Very close to a first down. And they're going to have to measure, evidently.
I'll tell you one thing.
He made it by a couple of inches as we view it from here.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing, Jack. Those outside linebackers, Ray Preston specifically and Lowe, are doing a great job of detaining the tight end and keeping him from getting downfield quickly. They're really doing a good job.
Hank, if this field is laid out properly, it's a first down. They're going to measure right here. I think he made it by an inch or 2.
I think you're right, Jack. It looks like he did.
You're going to throw in with me, huh?
Yep, I'm going to jump right on the wagon.
Okay, it is a first down for the Broncos at their own 31 on the pass to Jensen. At the Denver 31-yard line, and they're doing a good job of possessing the football now. 5:01 left in the half. Score tied 7-7 as these 2 teams battle for the crown in the Western Division of the AFC, along with a week off and a home game.
The cherry juice has been working wonders for you, Jack. You're spotting them great.
From their own 31-yard line. Motion by Preston. Morton back to throw. Throws it out here to Preston at the 31, and he's knocked down at the 34. Got 3 yards on the play. His feet went out from under him. And over there quickly was Ray Preston. Preston is stalking Preston here on the field. 3 second and 7.
You know, Preston that time was open by himself on the outside that time, and it would have been much wiser for him to make a move to the inside and then get as much as he possibly could to the outside. By running inside, he runs right into all the pursuit coming from the inside of the field, and it's very difficult to go through that traffic and make a lot of yardage in that kind of a situation.
Denver is 10 out of 18 in their passes, much of them very short. Here's a little swing pass and a screen pass. Out here to Jensen, moves across the 30-yard line, and he gets a first down across the 40 out to the 42. Jensen hauling it in. Fuller and Horn were the tacklers, and Jensen is filling the role of Lytle, who usually catches those swing passes.
Yes, and he does a good job. He's big and strong enough to make yardage on his own, and the nice thing about it is he knew exactly what he had to do. It wasn't fancy, didn't try to dance around. He just took off and went and got some good yardage on the play.
A first down at the Denver 44 with 3:45 remaining in the first half. They've kept the ball for 3 minutes now, the Broncos have. Larry Canada is in there. Haven Moses goes in motion. Here is a toss to the tailback, Preston. He spins at the 45, breaks the tackle across midfield to the 45, down to the 40 of San Diego, and down near the 38 for a first down. A big run by Dave Preston out of Bowling Green. Fred Dean finally stopped him.
17 yards on the play, and he stretched a short gain into a large one, 17 yards specifically. But he gets a shot at the line of scrimmage, bounced off, good balance, hit the ground with his hand, bounced back up, and is finally tackled after he makes 17 yards on the play. A beautiful run by Preston.
3 minutes left in the half, and the clock's running, and another first down. And Morton has a dandy drive underway now at the San Diego 39. And on first down, Morton out of the eye, swings to the right, throws it out here to Haven Moses, gets inside the 35. He's down to the 33, and he got 5 yards on the play. Moses tackled by Gary Johnson and Ray Preston, and Morton really has them reeling, doesn't he?
Yes, he's got him guessing, doing a good job of spraying the ball around and combining the run and the pass. That time, Moses again ran right back into where all the traffic was coming from, but in spite of it, he got 5 yards on the play.
Down to the San Diego 33 now, second down and 5. 2:15 remaining in the half. Clock running. Score tied, 7-7. Broncos going from our left to our right.
Upchurch has been getting some single coverage.
Here's Morton handing the ball off to the running back, who gets inside the 30-yard line. That was Armstrong, and he got inside to the 28. And we come up to the 2-minute warning. When we resume, it's going to be third down and only a yard for Denver. It'll be third down and about a yard for them. Well, they're going to measure right now to see if he had a first down, and we'll get into the commercial and tell you when we come back. A pause in the action with a score. Denver 7, San Diego 7. Let's take time out.
Earl Bruce of Ohio State took a job many were afraid to touch, and it turned into a personal monument. For that achievement, Bruce was named college football's Coach of the Year by United Press International. In succeeding the legendary Woody Hayes as coach of the Buckeyes, Bruce led the club to a perfect 11-0 season and a berth in the Rose Bowl game. Bruce received 46 votes from 118 sports writers and sportscasters across the nation to defeat runner-up John Malkovich of Wake Forest in the balloting. Bruce's achievement this year takes on greater meaning because of the pressure he was under in succeeding Hayes. But his Buckeye squad averaged 34 points and 408 yards per game while racing to the Big Ten Conference title and the number 3 ranking. Some college basketball games on tap tonight. Again, 5th-ranked Kentucky at Georgia. Montana State is number 12 Oregon State, and 19th-ranked Arkansas hosting Oklahoma City. Final score, Clemson beat Georgia Southern 113-74.
The Denver Broncos have moved from their own 10-yard line when Foley intercepted the ball with 7:45 left in the half, to the point where there are 2 minutes left in the half, and Otis Armstrong picked up a first down to the 28 of San Diego. Jensen and Preston are in the backfield for Craig Morton, and on first down, he's back to throw. Drops it off to Jensen. He's down to the 25. He's down to the 20. He's down to the 19. He got about 9 yards on the play. They're just killing him with those short passes.
Yes, and you know one thing that's surprising, the Chargers are very, very predictable on defense. They're using, as I mentioned earlier, the same kind of a zone. They change one or the other, but it's very vulnerable to what the Denver Broncos are doing, either giving the ball to the back and the outside. They haven't done much with the tight end, but with as much time as a linebacker spinning with the tight end, the back has to be open.
Now Denver uses their first timeout of the first half. A timeout on the field with a score. The Broncos 7 and the Chargers 7.
The more college basketball scores, another final. Furman has defeated Western Carolina 42-30. Here's the final. Arkansas, again, one of the top teams in the country, ranked number 19, has defeated Oklahoma City 86-68. Another final in. Dayton has beaten Eastern Kentucky 93-73. And repeating, here's one, not repeating, but here's one just over. The fifth-ranked team in the country, Kentucky, has just beaten Georgia 95-69. That game being played at Athens, Georgia. The final, Marshall won over Davidson 115-97. A tennis note, Shlomo Glickstein ended Tim Wilkinson's bid for back-to-back titles in the $110,000 South Wales Open Tennis Championship today in Sydney, Australia. Glickstein, Israel's top player, but ranked 265th in the world, stunned Wilkinson in a 6-2, 6-4 victory in the first round.
We have 1:35 remaining here in the first half. The 19-yard line of San Diego. Trying to get the first down. Morton hands the ball off, and Preston runs to the 15 for another first down. And the clock is running. 1:25 remaining. Morton is 11 out of 17 in the passing department. Otis Armstrong has rushed 11 times for 42 yards, and it's another first down to the 15 of San Diego. They're just killing them with this drive. The Broncos are. Back to throw. Morton on first down. Looks throws to the 10-yard line. It's caught for a gain of 5. And coming away with the ball is Preston out of the backfield. What can San Diego do to stop him here, Hank?
Well, it's very difficult because, you get rid of the ball so quickly that it's hard to get to the quarterback, and that's what's creating the problem. Plus the fact that the Denver team is really exercising a lot of intelligence by running the ball like they have been and also throwing the ball short and quick because it keeps the ball, of course, away from the San Diego Chargers. They're such a dangerous, explosive team that as long as you can keep the ball like Denver's keeping it, boy, you've got a great chance to win the game.
Denver has just employed their second time out of the first half. They stopped the clock with 1 minute left. They have second down and 5 from the San Diego 10-yard line as they play for the title here tonight. Both teams are already assured of being in the playoffs. Hank will take this wonderful moment during this fine football game to acknowledge the bad news that we heard with regard to the death of two fine men in our business, George Halas Jr. of the Chicago Bears and John Hintz of NFL Films. What shocking news that was.
Boy, it really was, and I talked to Ed Sable before the game, and of course Jim Finks before the game, and it's really sad to hear about these two great young men.
It's second down and 5 from the 10, and Morton's back to throw. He throws it over the middle, and it is intercepted on the goal line by San Diego. They come back out with Pete Shaw out across the 10-yard line with 52 seconds left in the half. And you talk about dodging a bullet. Pete Shaw walked in, picked off his third of the year.
And Wilbur Young, the defensive left tackle of the San Diego Chargers, really came off the ball and did a number on Paul Howard, number 60. Boy, he knocked him right flat in his back.
So San Diego has come out to their own 10-yard line with 52 seconds remaining. They have 2 timeouts left. What about that? A little while ago, well, not a little while ago, 6 minutes and 48 seconds ago, there was an interception on the Denver 10, and this one was on the San Diego 1-yard line. And here is Fouts handing it off to Williams, running right, cutting back, got out to the 14-yard line. The clock is running, and it looks like both teams are going to be content to have a tie here at halftime. Bernie Chavis was the tackler. Nobody wants to stop this clock. It's too dangerous for San Diego. And Denver says, well, we can't get it away from them anyhow. They didn't have any time left.
Well, they might have had they called timeout right off the bat, but they've waited. I don't know why they wouldn't call the timeout and hopefully get the ball back.
You're right. If they had called it immediately, it may have paid off, but not now.
Yes, now it's too late. Of course, early they had a chance.
We're down to 15 seconds left in the half. Brent Musburger will join us here at halftime. Fouts fumbles the ball and falls on the ball. Fouts almost fumbled the ball, but recovered it, and now the clock runs down, and the half is concluded, and still nothing decided about the champion in the Western Division of the AFC. There's the gun sounding the end of the first half with a score. Denver 7, San Diego 7, or San Diego. And by the way, I really felt sorry for the Redskins. I thought sure they were going to get into the playoff. And in fact, Hank, I had voted for Jack Pardee as the coach of the year in the National Football League. I thought he did a tremendous job. Here the Chargers kicking off, and deep we have Preston. And he takes the ball on the 3 to the 10 to the 15. He came out across the 20-yard line, and a flag goes down after the play came to a conclusion. And the tackle was made by Hank Power downfield. Payne is the one who returned the ball out to the 22, but then a penalty.
You know, you talked about Washington being out of the playoffs. You have to realize also what a fantastic job that Neil Armstrong.
We have a clip. Against Denver, so they'll start way back.
But Neil Armstrong, in his very quiet way, has done, I think, a very outstanding job with the Chicago Bears. And I know that Jim Finks and all the Bears are very happy about what they have been able to achieve during the course of this season.
Flipping against the Denver Broncos was called against Egloff, the tight end. So the Broncos are at their 11. They have two tight ends in there, Egloff and Odom. Here's the gift to Armstrong, running left, came out for about, well, no more than 2 yards over the left side. And the San Diego Charger defense dug in, stopped him. We're tied 7-7 here at the outset of the third quarter. Second down and 8 coming up for the Broncos. They have quite a few of their fans who have traveled out here for a pleasant trip to San Diego to watch the game. Armstrong is carried for 44 yards now. And from their own 13-yard line, the Broncos' Craig Morton, who has played all the way, spins and gives to his fullback. Nothing doing, only a yard. And it's going to be third down and 7 as Jensen carried the ball, and Wilbur Young met him head on.
Leroy Jones was also in there, number 68, the defensive end, but Wilbur Young and Leroy Jones, both of whom did a good job on the play.
Up front, San Diego has Leroy Jones, Wilbur Young, Gary Johnson, Fred Dean. Their linebackers are Ray Preston, Bob Horn, Woody Lowe, Buchanan, and Williams on the corners. And they have Fuller and Shaw at the safety position. This crowd roaring as the Broncos are faced with 3rd and 7 from their own 14. Going from our left to our right.
Look at the bump and run they got on the far side of the field.
Here's a little swing pass out to the running back, Preston, and he's tackled for a loss of a yard on the play. Up was Mike Williams from the corner to make a big hit.
You know, and Mike Williams really did a great job of bumping and running with Upchurch. Didn't let him get downfield at all, and then was able to respond to what he saw in front to come up and make the tackle. Beautiful play by Mike Williams.
Ken Brown will snap the ball. Luke Prestige will kick it from about the 2-yard line. It comes out near midfield. Mike Fuller is driven back to his 40-yard line. He's to the 45 and dropped at the 46 on a great downfield tackle for the Denver Broncos by Jim Ryan, the linebacker. So the Denver punt went to the Chargers' 47-yard line, and they're in good shape.
And a 37-yard punt that time. And San Diego comes out of there with very good field position.
So the Broncos, receiving the second half kickoff, were unable to get a first down. Williams is the lone setback for Fouts.
See if they send somebody in motion on this formation. Here he goes.
They do with the tight end Klein. Fouts back to throw on first down, and a short drop. He throws the ball over the middle. It's caught by Williams. Out to the 45 of Denver for a gain of 7 yards, and he was tackled immediately by Joe Rizzo, the linebacker. And it's 2nd and 3 for the Chargers.
You know,
What a difference when you get the ball at your own 48 as opposed to the Broncos, who ended up at their own 11.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot more working room, of course. There's a lot of things you can do and use all of your offense. But that time, Klein was open on the right side. He looked at him, but I don't know why he didn't throw the ball to him.
He completed the ball nonetheless to the 45 of Denver. Fouts did. And on 2nd down and 3, he tosses to the tailback. Williams running left, gets outside, gets to the 40, gets to the 35, out of bounds on the 37, 32-yard line of Denver for a first down. That's the 10th first down in the game for the Chargers. Tackled by Grattershaw at the 32 of Denver.
Well, he got to the outside in good shape that time. Steve Foley came up quickly to make the tackle, but missed the play, and for that reason, Thomas was able to scamper down the sideline for a big gain.
Well, the Chargers have a head of steam now. They're at the 32 of the Broncos. First down. Fouts pass play coming up. Fake short. Throws long to the goal line. Joyner. Touchdown, San Diego! Sally Joyner shook loose a 32-yard pass play. They were picking on Foley again, as you talked about earlier, Coach.
Yeah, it's tough on Foley because Joyner's got great speed, and Fouts did a good job of looking him off that time. Looked like he was going to throw the ball someplace else. Wound up throwing it to Joyner, and Joyner did nothing but just run down, in and back out. Made a move on Steve Foley. He ran right by him. The ball was right on the money.
It took less than a minute for San Diego after getting that punt to go on in. They started at their own 48. 12:02 left in the third quarter. The extra point is good. It's the first time that San Diego has been ahead in the game because Denver scored first. And it's 14-7 now. I don't know if there's any stopping the Chargers now. You know that drive just at the end of the first half, which ended with Morton being intercepted on the 1-yard line, might have taken more out of the Broncos than they'll be able to come back from.
I really don't think so, Jack. I think, this Bronco team is a very unusual team. They've come from behind on many occasions during the course of the season. I really don't know how they've done it, but they continue to do it, and they're really a fine football team, and I still think this thing is a long, long way from being over.
Dan Fouts has broken Joe Namath's record. He has thrown for 4,032 yards this year. Of course, it's a 16-game schedule as opposed to the 14 that Namath accomplished his feat in, 14,007. But Fouts has thrown more than any other quarterback in one season in the NFL. Here's the kick. Preston takes a 2-yard seat, will down the ball, it will come out to the 20-yard line, and the Broncos will go from there, trailing by 7. The winner of this game will be the champion of the Western Division of the AFC. They will have a week off, and how important that is at this stage of the season. In addition, they will get a home game in the playoffs, and the loser of this game will be playing at Houston next Sunday. You'll hear that game at 3:55 Eastern Time here on CBS Radio. The first game, Chicago at Philadelphia, 12:25 Eastern Time. Here is a first down running play, and Jensen running right, comes across the 25 and blows out to the 29-yard line, and a flag goes down. Willie Buchanan was the tackler. Jensen ran for 9 yards, and now we'll check the play. Holding against Denver. The holding penalty against Denver. And the ball will be marked from the 24-yard line, from the spot of the foul. Marked down on the Denver 14. Claudia Minor, the offensive right tackle, was called for holding. The crowd yelling defense as the Broncos send Upchurch left and Moses to the right.
Well, the one thing that Denver has to be careful of is not to get swallowed up in the emotion here and not make some kind of a mistake to give the Chargers another chance to get some more points on the board with good field position.
Preston running left, tracks back inside, and he got about 3 yards on the play. That's all, and the Chargers are really tough on the ground now. Mike Williams came up to finish off the play from the right corner spot. 11 and a half left in the third quarter. We're tied, the Chargers lead 14-7. The ball is at the Denver 18, and it's second down and 12. Glenn Edwards comes in as the extra defensive back for San Diego, and timeout called by Denver. Denver uses an early timeout here in the third quarter. They're faced with second and 12 when we resume. 11:08 remaining in the third period with a score of 14-7 in favor of San Diego. Let's take time out.
Well, to the surprise of no one, Redskins coach Jack Pardee came out Monday against the NFL tiebreaker system for determining playoff teams. The Redskins' 35-34 loss Sunday at Dallas knocked them out of the playoffs because the Chicago Bears made up a 33-point deficit in point differential with a 42-6 hammering of the St. Louis Cardinals. Point differential has to be the worst possible way to break a tie. No matter what else you use, says Pardee, you play all year and then determine a playoff spot because someone wins by 40 points on the last day. Strength of schedule has to move up somewhere. A 1979 rules change made strength of schedule the fifth alternative for breaking a tie for a wild card playoff spot if teams from different divisions are involved. Head-to-head competition is first, followed by a record against conference opponents, net points, net touchdowns, strength of schedule, and a coin toss.
Second down and 12 for the Broncos from their own 18-yard line. Motion by Moses. Morton back to throw. He pops it off short, and it's dropped. It was dropped by number 81, Steve Watson, the rookie out of Temple. He would have done some damage with that reception.
Yes, it was an underneath pattern, meaning that the outside receivers went downfield very deep, and then he started like he was going downfield, cut across the middle, was open on the play, just dropped the football. It was right on the money.
So Watson goes out of the game feeling badly about that. 11:04 left in the third quarter, 3rd and 12 for Denver. 5 defensive backs for San Diego. Jensen and Preston are in the Bronco backfield. They haven't gotten the ball to Upchurch.
They got to do a better job of getting the ball to the tight end, too, because they...
Here's a screen pass to the left side, and it's taken by Jensen to the 25, but did not get to the 30-yard line. Short of a first down, tackled at the 28, and kicking time for Denver again.
Well, I'm really impressed with the way those linebackers are holding up the tight end of the Denver Broncos, because it's very difficult to do that to Riley Odom, but they're doing it. They're keeping him on the line of scrimmage, and are able to make good use of that coverage because he does not get a chance to get downfield like he normally does.
10 and a half remaining in the third quarter as Luke Prestige will kick the ball. Mike Fuller waits for it. It's a dandy kick by Prestige. And Fuller fields it on the 24-yard line. He's back to the 30, to the 35, to the 40, to the 45, and to midfield goes Mike Fuller. A 42-yard punt, but Fuller took it all the way back to the San Diego 49. 10:16 remaining in the third quarter. Rob Nair and the linebacker made the tackle. A timeout on the field with a score. The Chargers 14 and Denver 7.
Let's look at the scoreboard now. There's a few games in college basketball going on. As we mentioned a while ago, also the National Hockey League into the second period, and the only game scheduled this Monday. Minnesota leads Toronto by a score of 4-1. A final in college basketball, Drexel beat St. Francis 83-67. It was McNeese State 77, Pan American 67. Missouri beat Oral Roberts, I think we gave you that one earlier, by a score of 84-73. U.S. coach Herb Brooks and his Swedish counterpart have different opinions of America's opening round victory in the Lake Placid International Hockey Tournament in upstate New York. The American squad scored 3 goals in the third period yesterday for a 4-2 victory, and Brooks says it marked the first time in his memory that the American team has skated a European team into the ice in the third period. But the Swedish coach says the U.S. should be happy, but not too confident. He says his team gave the U.S. 3 goals with 3 mistakes and hit a post early in the third period, which should have made it 3-1 Sweden at the time.
San Diego Chargers in the playoff for the first time since 1965 and the first time ever in the NFL. Are in a spot now to deliver a crushing blow to the Broncos. The Chargers lead 14-7, have the ball at their own 49 with a first down. Bouts at the controls, it's back to throw. He swings it off to the right side. It's caught by Williams, gets to midfield and tackled at the 46 of Denver, and he got about 5 yards. Randy Gradishar made the tackle on Clarence Williams, and Ed White was out there on the screen and made another good block.
He sure did. You saw that exactly right, Jack. Ed White, number 67, got out there in good shape and did a job on the screen pass.
So it is 2nd down and 5 for the Chargers. Actually 4, 2nd and 4. John Floyd is a wide receiver along with Charlie Joyner. John Jefferson hasn't played in this game. Bouts back to throw. And chased out of the pocket. He throws. Joyner caught it and gets to the 41, and he is blasted with the heaviest tackle of the night. The ball came loose. A wild scramble for it, and Denver has the football. linebacker, really delivered a big blow on Joyner. And the ball came loose, and who are they going to give it to?
Well, they talked him out of it, I guess. It looks like San Diego's got the ball back. They initially said it was Denver, and now, all of a sudden, they say it's San Diego. So let's wait and see what they call.
Joyner had caught the ball at about the line of scrimmage. Then he came within a yard of a first down, and Tom Jackson, blasted him. The ball came loose, a wild scramble in front of the San Diego bench, and at first the officials indicated Denver had the ball, but now they say San Diego can keep it.
I don't know what made them change their mind, but they did.
And it's going to be 3rd down and 7 when we resume at the 48-yard line of Denver. Mike Thomas finally got the ball. Joyner leaves the field injured with a head injury of some sort, perhaps a cut.
Boy, he really had to pay for that catch. He really got a shot, didn't he?
Now it's Floyd and Burton in there as the wide receivers. And 3rd down and 7 for the Chargers from the 48 of the Broncos.
They'll really be coming this time. This would be a good time for a screen or something.
To the back. South back to throw and throws. It's caught. It's caught at the 45-yard line of Denver. Reaching high and getting the ball was Bob Klein. And then he was tackled at the 38 of Denver for a first down. Let's pause 5 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the CBS Radio Network. This is the American Forces Radio and Television Service. Bob Klein just hauled it in at the Denver 33. For a first down with 8:50 left in the 3rd quarter. Chargers leading 14-7 and moving again. South back to throw. What's new? On first down, he looks and throws, and it's caught. Caught by Floyd inside the 25. As the first down as he's tackled at the 21-yard line by Foley. The rookie out of Northeast Louisiana had that ball thrown right into his midsection by Fouts.
They don't care where they are on the field, what the situation is. They have tremendous confidence in their passing game and their passing philosophy. And Fouts really exercises that philosophy terrifically well.
Earlier they got down to the 10-yard line and were intercepted. That was in the first half. Floyd and Burton again, the wide receivers. First down at the 21-yard line. Here's the running play to Williams, and he dives over the right guard spot inside the 20 to the 17. And he got 4 yards. Now Williams gets off the ball, Hank.
He really does, and that call on the sideline could make the difference in this football game, Jack.
For a moment, Denver had it. And one of the officials said they had recovered the fumble, but then they changed their minds and gave it back to San Diego. Fouts is 16 out of 24. On 2nd down and 6. He hands the ball off to Mike Thomas. He's inside the 15. He's down near the 12-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and 1. He went to the right and then curled back, and Reuben Carter, the nose guard, tackled him. Fouts is fast for 213 yards. 1 touchdown, 2 intercepted. It's 3rd down and 1 from the 12. Hank Bauer checks into the backfield. 2 tight ends, Klein and McCrary. The wide receivers are out.
If they run right.
And they do run to the right, and the play is stopped as Clarence Williams tried to down, got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. The left side with Chavis and Carter and the linebackers, Rizzo and Gradishar tackle him. That Gradishar is a great short yardage linebacker.
Oh, he is really murder, and that's why, as they did before, they've got to do something to entertain him and then do something away from him because, boy, he reacts so well to what he sees. He's hard to handle.
It's going to be a 4th down and a yard, and Mike Wood and company come onto the field. He missed a 51-yard field goal earlier in the game. He'll try one now of 30 yards, to try to increase the San Diego lead, which is 14-7 at the moment. 6:35 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Now 6.5 minutes. Mike Fuller will put the ball down. The snap is good. A flag goes down. The kick goes through. And we'll check the flag procedure against San Diego. Procedure against San Diego. Probably an improper alignment, Hank. Have to have 7 men on the line of scrimmage. That might have been what it was.
Yeah, you have to have 7. You can have 10 if you want to, but you must have at least 7.
Illegal procedure. Number 53. That's in the tight end. Goes to front center. He's illegal on that play.
Oh, he didn't report. The offensive center, 53, Peretta, did not report evidently on the play, and that's what they're calling.
He was on the end position and didn't report in as a wide receiver, Ralph Peretta, and the procedure call moves the ball back to the 17-yard line and makes this now a 25-yard or a 35-yard attempt.
He has a 53 number, and that's what the problem was.
A 35-yard field goal attempt by Mike Wood. Oh, a bad snap goes off the hands of Fuller, and it's recovered by Denver on 4th down, and they get the ball. So the difference is still 7 points, and that procedure call really hurts San Diego, and the Broncos will go from their own 26. We have 6:19 remaining in the third quarter. A high snap that went off the hands of Mike Fuller. People would be surprised how rapidly that ball comes back from the center.
Yes, and if you don't really concentrate on making that catch, looking it into your hands and placing it at the right spot like you should, you can have that kind of a problem. It's all concentration.
The ball is at their 26, and the Broncos trailing by 7 go to work, and the give is to the fake and a pass out here, caught by Keyworth. He is hit at the 35 and drives out to the 38 and got a first down for Denver.
Number 32, John Keyworth.
First down for Denver. 6 minutes left in the third quarter.
And number 42, Mike Fuller.
Hey, another thing, Jack, you give Craig Morton an opportunity to throw the football and not be rushed. He's as good as there is in the business.
We've seen that time and time again. And he's dumping off the short passes, and San Diego hasn't been able to stop that. They've been able to stop the running game. Here's a first down call, and Morton swings it off to the left, and the play goes to the 35 and out to the 39 in a very modest gain of only a yard and a half as Jensen caught the ball and Mike Williams tackled him.
I continue to be amazed at the outstanding job, and I mentioned this several times, and I don't like to overdo it, but you have to give credit to the linebackers of the Chargers. Preston, the outside linebacker, 52, and Lowe, 51, for detaining the tight end like they have done so far in this game. That is Riley Odom. They're having a hard time getting him off the line of scrimmage.
Odoms is lined up on the right side. It's Upchurch left, and Mose is right, and 2nd and 9, and Morton's back to throw. He's rushed, gets it away, throws. Complete inside the 45 of San Diego. It was hauled in by Haven Moses, and he was covered immediately. And Morton was really walloped as he threw the ball for a first down to the 43 of San Diego.
And he still got the ball off in good shape, right on the money, on a curl-in pattern to Haven Moses, number 25.
4:30 remaining in the third quarter. The score is 14-7 in favor of San Diego, and the Broncos are on the move. They send both Moses and Upchurch to the left side. Preston and Keyworth are in the backfield. Flip back. Morton on first down, hands off, and running right with the ball is Preston. Preston is wrestled out of bounds near the 42.
Ray Preston, that time, 52, the linebacker, really did a good job of responding to the sweep and came in and made the tackle.
Ray Preston has tackled Dave Preston numerous times here tonight. A gain of only 2 yards. Down to the 41-yard line of the Chargers. Clock is stopped, 4:12 left in the quarter. Morton brings them out. Odom goes to the right side.
I'm surprised the way both teams are pursuing that either one of the two teams have used any kind of a misdirection or any kind of a reverse so far in this game.
Morton back to throw on 2nd and 8. A deep drop, and his pass is thrown, and it's inside the 30-yard line and caught. And then the hit made immediately on Rick Upchurch. Upchurch tackled and walloped by Mike Williams, but another Denver first down. First one that Upchurch has caught all night.
Tackle by number 20.
Upchurch is ailing. He had a bad ankle, and then he had a bad Achilles tendon. The ball's to the San Diego 27.
Fortunately for Denver, however, nothing wrong with his hands. He caught that one in good shape.
Egloff is in at the tight end, and Odoms is out. And on a first down call from the 27, Morton on a delay gives to Keyworth. Keyworth goes down to the 20-yard line. Keyworth with a big game, picked up 7 yards. Tackled by Fred Daines. That's comparable to the misdirection play, something to slow down this pursuit, Hank.
Yes, that's exactly right, and I think somewhere along the line in here in a passing situation, they must run a trap to slow down the rush, and the way they're getting penetration, the trap might be a big play, especially in the area in which they're working right now.
It is 2nd down and 3 from the 20 of San Diego for the Broncos, who have another good drive underway. 2:55 left in the third quarter. Here is Morton back to throw, steps up in the pocket, is sacked. Can't get rid of the ball. He's tackled at the 25. He lost 5 yards on the play. Morton is sacked for the very first time tonight.
And Gary Johnson, number 79, got good penetration and made the tackle.
So that slows things down and makes it 3rd down and 8 from the 25. 2.5 left in the third quarter. 14-7, San Diego on top. It is 3rd down and 8 for the Broncos. Upchurch to the left, Moses to the right. Odom's the tight end on the right side. Morton's back to throw. He throws over the middle and drops it off. Caught inside the 20-yard line, and a flag goes down. A flag goes down in the Denver backfield. Larry Canada, the fullback, caught the ball, and it's holding Denver.
Looks like it might be Paul Howard on Wilbur Young. Let's see what they call.
So first a sack and then a holding call. The play had carried down to the 20-yard line where it would have been, well, inside the 20, so it would have been 4th down and about 2, so the Chargers are going to take the penalty. It's moved all the way back to the San Diego 35. Bill Bryan, the center, was called for holding. Now it is 3rd down. 3rd down and 19 from the 35. Upchurch left. Back to throw is Morton. He throws, and it is incomplete at the 15-yard line. Incomplete at the 15-yard line, and a diving attempt by Haven Moses. The ball had been deflected by Ray Preston, the linebacker. Just got a piece of it. It's 4th down.
Just enough to spoil the route of the pass. They had good protection that time. You have to give them a lot of credit for the protection. They had a lot of time to throw the ball, but it was deflected, and still was almost caught by Haven Moses.
So the sack of Morton and the holding call against Denver causes the Broncos to punt with Luke Prestige getting away from the San Diego 45, trying to get it out of bounds. He does get it out of bounds, and they will mark the ball at the 10-yard line of the Chargers. A fine kick by Ray Prestige of 25 yards, but out of bounds at the 10. 2:02 left in the third quarter. A timeout on the field with a score. San Diego 14 and the Broncos 7.
Here's some results of college basketball games tonight. Forward Curtis Berry scored 19 points to pay 16th ranked and unbeaten Missouri to an 84-73 win over Oral Roberts. Missouri now 9-0. Broke open a close game with 8 straight points with 3 minutes left for a 77-67 lead. Oral Roberts' record falls to 2-5. Elsewhere, sophomore Ed Wanneker scored a career-high 24 points to spark TCU to an 84-77 victory over Oregon State. Wanneker hit 10 of 13 field goals and scored 18 of his game-high points in the second half. Marshall set an NCAA record by making all 31 of its foul shots. James Campbell and Robert Price scored 22 points each and a 115-97 rout of Davidson. Ironically, Davidson held the old free throw mark of 24 for 24 in a 1978 game with Duke. Marshall 6-1 and winners of 6 straight games, shot 64% from the field to 48% for Davidson.
The Chargers are all the way back at their 10-yard line. They have the lead 14-7 with 2:02 left in the third quarter. Jack Buck and Hank Stram with you from San Diego. We had a crazy play here in this third period when Denver recovered a fumble, but gave it right back to San Diego on the same play.
See if he throws the ball down in here. They throw it all over the field. He probably throw it here.
On first down. Fouts is back to throw. From inside the 5, he drops it off, incomplete. Tried to get it to Mike Thomas, his running back. And Fouts took a whack right at the goal line as he delivered.
Boy, Thomas was pretty open on the play.
They fill the air with footballs whenever the Chargers are playing. Fouts is 16 out of 25, 213 yards, 1 TD, 2 intercepted. And he ran for a touchdown as well. It's second down and 10 from the 10. They'll be through on first down. Now this time they stay on the ground and hand it off to the running back. And Mike Thomas came out to the 14-yard line, making it third down and 6. Still a big defensive situation for the Broncos here. Checking in is Artie Owens into the backfield, and Thomas comes out. Chargers lead. The score was tied 7-7 at the half. 32-yard pass play to Joyner has the Chargers on top.
If they pump it up again here.
Third down and 6, and Fouts drops back to throw. Sets up, throws, lofts it out. The man fell down, incomplete. And Artie Owens hollered for a flag, but there is none forthcoming, and it's kicking time for San Diego. Coverage by Tom Jackson, the linebacker. Artie Owens hit the deck, and the pass went incomplete.
Yeah, he went sprawling on the play, and I think he just slipped. It wasn't anything that Jackson did. He just slipped and fell on the play.
So the good punt earlier by Luke Prestige back to the 10-yard line has slowed San Diego down. And Dave Preston waits at the 45 for the kick from Jeff West. West doesn't really deliver long kicks. He gets it up high, however, and it's taken at his own 45 by Preston. He gets to midfield, tries to get outside, and is tackled at his own 49. A 41-yard punt and a dandy by Jeff West.
And prior to that kick, he's averaged 43 yards on this kick. Pretty impressive.
1:05 left in the third quarter. The ball is at midfield in possession of the Broncos, and with the score 14-7 San Diego, let's take time out.
The New York Yankees and Minnesota Twins have traded minor league players today. The Yankees have sent outfielder Tommy Cruz from their Columbus Farm Club, where he hit .297 to Minnesota, for outfielder Dave Coleman. Coleman played at Toledo last year and batted .237. In another transaction, the Yankees purchased shortstop Andre Robertson from Syracuse, a farm club of the Toronto Blue Jays. Robertson was then farmed out by the Yankees to Columbus. Some other items in sports. The NHL's Montreal Canadiens say defenseman Larry Robinson will rejoin the club for Tuesday evening's game in St. Louis. Robinson was released from the hospital today after being admitted last week with stomach pains. Doctors say it was something he ate. And the Southern Christian Leadership Conference says it plans to investigate possible racial bias in pro football and baseball. SCLC President Joseph Lowry says he's convinced that there may be or not be equal opportunity for black involvement at every level of the baseball and football industry.
Denver won the first meeting between these two clubs this year, 7-0. We got another tight one here tonight.
Yes, and it's hard to believe that anybody would shut out San Diego, but they did it 7-0, as you mentioned.
The ball is at midfield. First down, Denver. They trail by 7. 1:05 left in the third quarter. Morton sets the club. Starts his back in motion. That's Armstrong. And Craig is back to throw. He throws a screen right to Keyworth. He gets the block. He's to the 45. He's to the 40, to the 35, and down to the 31-yard line of San Diego. A screen pass to John Keyworth, and little Otis Armstrong was out there blocking for him.
Yes, they sent him in motion, and everybody moved with him. It was
a good block by the right guard.
Paul Howard, number 60, did a good job. But they sent Otis Armstrong in motion from his left halfback position. The defense moved with him. They were concerned about his making a catch, the ball being thrown to him, but instead it was thrown to Keyworth, and he made a nice run on the screen pass.
They marked the ball down at the San Diego 32, so Denver is right back knocking at the door, trailing by 7. 20 seconds left in the quarter. Morton back to throw. Short drop, long pass to the sideline, incomplete. He tried to get it out there to Upchurch. Upchurch had drawn heavy coverage. Double cover over there helping out.
Yes, there was double cover on the play, and a very dangerous call. He got the ball high enough, however, but those kind of plays could be very dangerous and could have been very easily intercepted had he thrown it a little lower.
Now Jensen goes out, and Preston comes into the backfield. Morton is 20 out of 28 for 185 yards and one interception. And that interception took place at the San Diego 1.
They're so concerned about the pass, the trap play. Something up the middle quickly would be a very good play.
Second down and 10, and Morton's back to throw, and he swings it out to Preston. He catches it, gets to the 30, breaks the tackle, and dives down to the 25, and it's going to make it third down and 3. Ray Preston did a great job. He caught a difficult pass to catch, and it's going to be 3rd and 3 Denver at the 25 of San Diego when we start the fourth quarter. That's the end of the third quarter with the score. San Diego 14 and Denver 7.
Well, one of auto racing's familiar names was out practicing on a Sonoma, California track today. Dan Gurney took the wheel for a few laps in preparation for his attempted comeback next month in a stock car race at Riverside International Speedway. Gurney retired 10 years ago. The veteran driver claims to have been a bit nervous in practice. As Gurney, the first lap, I couldn't even concentrate. Well, we have 1 quarter to go and a good ball game between the Denver Broncos and the San Diego Chargers at San Diego, and we'll be back with that final quarter with Jack Buck and Hank Stram in just a few moments. The North Shore Country Club in Glenville, Illinois has been selected as the site of the 1983 U.S. Amateur Golf Tournament. That was announced today by the U.S. Golf Association. And Ring of Truth led most of the way today in winning the feature at Aqueduct Racetrack in New York. The 4-year-old finished more than a length ahead of his nearest rival, Pirate's Bounty. Jockey Eddie Maple guided Ring of Truth over the 6 furlongs in 1 minute and 13 seconds. The winner paid $460, $320, and $260. Pirate's Bounty returned $380 and $320. The show horse was Arctic Action, paying $4.60. And the NBA's Player of the Week is Atlanta Hawks forward Dan Roundfield. The 6'8 Roundfield muscled his way to 53 points and 37 rebounds in leading the Hawks to 3 victories last week.
482 no-shows.
52,388 paid here tonight. The ball is at the San Diego 26. We start the fourth quarter. Jack Buck and Hank Stram with you. 3rd and 3 Denver. Denver trailing 14-7. Here's the toss to the running back trying to get outside. And it is a first down for Denver. On a toss to Keyworth, and he got enough yardage for the first down on a power sweep with Willie Buchanan stopping the play. Let's see where they marked the ball. He made the first down by about a foot or so.
Ray Preston and number 20.
I think. Yes, he did.
Keyworth.
What are they going to measure?
Yeah, I think he made it though, Jack.
Yeah,
Keyworth is a big back, 6'3", 230, 6-year pro from Colorado, but he put his head down in good shape and knew exactly what he had to do.
He made it by plenty, Hank. He made it by the length of the football.
I think he did.
And carried the ball down to the 22 of San Diego. He made it by the length of the football, and it is a first down at the 22. As Denver tries to move in for the tying score. Ray Preston is out, and Don Good is in at the linebacker spot on the left side for San Diego. Good football game, Henry.
Just like the one we saw last week between Pittsburgh and Houston. It really is a carbon copy. Hard-hitting, tough football game.
Upchurch and Moses, the wide receivers. Morton on first down. Rolls right, options the ball out to the tailback. The ball goes down to the 15, down to the 14-yard line, and a pickup of 8. The pitch was to Jensen, and Morton looked like an old college quarterback.
Yeah, he twinkle-toed down the line of scrimmage in pretty good shape that time. He got rid of the football just when he had to, and it's a nice gain of 8 yards by the Denver Broncos and an option.
Down to the 14-yard line of San Diego. A lot of things have happened before this game ends. 14:27 remaining in the game. Second down and 2. Moses comes to the left. It's a tight formation otherwise. Buchanan is out, and Jerry Dove is in at the cornerback spot. And there might have been movement. There was by the tight end, Riley Odoms. The running play carried enough for the first down before the ball carrier, Preston, is driven back, but it's going to cost Denver 5 yards.
Boy, does that hurt.
They had 2nd and 2. And it looked like Riley Odoms moved.
That's who it was. Wiley Odom.
Well, it really hurt. It was second down and 2. Hurts if you're rooting for Denver. Helps if you're rooting for San Diego. And they marked the ball back out at the 18-yard line. This drive began at midfield. Denver had penetrated to the 14. Now they're back at the 18. And it's second down and 7. Moses goes in motion. Morton's back to throw. And Moses can't get the ball. The ball is intercepted by San Diego inside the 10-yard line. Another interception, the third time San Diego has intercepted tonight. John Good, the linebacker who just came into the game, picked it off.
Boy, that was really a great play by Don Good, number 50.
The ball is on the San Diego 10.
He was really trying to hit Moses. Moses was covered on the play. He threw the ball out to the right flat. Evidently thought it was a safe play. Tried to hit Preston. But Good, really Don Good, number 50, did a fantastic job.
Now San Diego will try to get away from their own goal line. They're back at the 10 and bounces back to throw. Looks and airs it out way downfield at midfield. And it is... It's intercepted by Denver in return with Steve Foley. He went up and got it. It was intended for Larry Burton at the Denver 39-yard line. Denver takes it right back.
Yes, and he had a good cushion that time. And there was no way you were going to outrun him because he turned early. He knows all about the speed of Burton. Made a good leaping interception and came down with the football. Had they both come down with it, it would have gone to the offense.
13:51 left in the game, and with the score, San Diego 14 and Denver 7. Let's take time out. This bug's for you, for being on the job and working hard.
Let's check the college football scoreboard now in the first round of the Tangerine Bowl at Winter Park, Florida. Stetson 101, Manhattan 82. St. Joe of Pennsylvania will be playing Rollins later tonight. In the East, it was AIC 70, Massachusetts 61. Marshall routed Davidson 115-97. Clemson 113, Georgia Southern 74. Evansville 78, Tennessee Tech 67. Furman beat Western Carolina 96-90. Kentucky, the fifth-ranked team, beat Georgia 95-69. Louisiana Tech 71. Belhaven 55. McNeese State 77. Pan American 67. Tennessee beat Minnesota 71-64. In the Midwest, it was Cincinnati 82, Cal Poly 57. Dayton defeated Eastern Kentucky 93-73.
13:51 remaining in the game. 14-7, San Diego leads. An interception by Good on the San Diego 10, and on the very next play, Denver Foley intercepted on his own 49. And it's a first down play for Morton. We wouldn't have another interception, would we? He's back to throw and airs it out way downfield for Upchurch. And it is intercepted by San Diego. Mike Williams, the cornerback. That's the fourth one against Morton. And that is the ninth turnover in this game. And San Diego has the ball back at their 7-yard line. Three plays in a row, 3 interceptions. The ball was underthrown a little bit, Hank, because Upchurch was out there.
Yeah, he was. He really was. It was just underthrown. And there again, if you're going to be wrong when you throw long, you better be wrong and never short. That's what happened.
John Floyd is in as the lone wide receiver, 2 tight ends. And on first down, a give to the up back, and the hit made out around the 9-yard line on Clarence Williams. He got 2 yards.
Boy, Bill Thompson came in there kind of late and really gave him a shot.
We have the center, Bob Rush of San Diego, shaken up on the play. And the official has called a timeout, stopping the clock with 13:28. remaining in the football game. One thing about it, Hank, when you don't run, even though you're ahead, that old clock just never ticks away, and you always give that other club a lot of chances to get back into the football game.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You don't keep the ball for any long period of time. Here comes Joyner again.
He was injured earlier with a head injury, and he comes back out of the dressing room. Charlie Joyner does. Evidently, he'll go back into the game, and the crowd reacted to his appearance. Here on CBS Radio, we have the Sun Bowl coming up on December 22nd. That's Saturday at El Paso. The Washington Huskies take on Texas, and Dick Stockton and Roman Gabriel will be there to broadcast the game. Hank Stram and I will be in the Cotton Bowl on the 1st of January for the Nebraska-Houston game. The Senior Bowl, January 12th on CBS Radio from Mobile, Alabama, with Jim Kelly and Bill Wilkerson. December 23rd, that's Sunday, Tim Ryan and Jim Kelly are going to be in Philadelphia for the Chicago Bears game at 12:25 Eastern Time, and Hank Stram and I will be in Houston 3:55 Eastern Time for the Houston game against the loser of this one. Second down and 8 from their own 10 for the Chargers. And Fouts is back to throw. Throws, and it is caught across the 20 by Klein. Hauled down by Rizzo. A first down. They mark it out to the 23.
Well, it's something the way they throw that football any place in the field. And that time into the zone, Klein made a nice move. He knew that there was double coverage on the outside. He just anchored in the hole between the outside people and the linebacker on the inside, and was open. The ball was thrown right on the money. 1st and 10, San Diego.
They give you some action, don't they?
No, they just keep these people alive. It's easy to understand why these fans enjoy watching this team play.
At their own 23 on first down, Fouts gives to the tailback, and out across the 25-yard line and out to the 29 before being wrestled down is Mike Thomas.
And who else but Randy Gradishar makes the tackle?
53, Randy Gradishar.
But Thomas got a good gain out to the 29-yard line.
6 yards.
Second down and 4 coming up. 12 minutes left in the game. They're playing for the title in the Western Division of the AFC. Fouts is 17 out of 28. 224 yards, 3 intercepted, 1 touchdown passing, 1 touchdown rushing for Dan Fouts. The center Rush earlier injured is back in the game. Snaps it to Fouts. He tosses it to Williams running left. Cuts it back and loses 2 yards on the play.
Gradishar on the tackle again.
Whew, boy, he's something.
By number 53, Randy Gradishar.
11 and a half left in the game. Charlie Joyner, although he's back on the sideline, still hasn't gone back in there, and John Jefferson hasn't played all night. Their other fine receiver. Ferretta is playing the center spot for the Chargers now. It's third down and 4 from the 28. Fouts needs 4. Back to throw. Throws. And the man fell down and the flag goes down. Interference will be called against Denver. Probably against Bill Thompson, the strong safety.
Yeah, I think he gave Bob Klein a shot. Somebody did. But he knocked him down, and evidently that's what the call is all about.
Steve Foley was the culprit. Illegal contact and a first down for San Diego. They marked the ball off against Denver. 5-yard penalty out to the 33. First down.
Automatic first down.
That was on a third down play. The penalty was assessed against the Broncos, who trail 14-7 here. 11:02 left in the game. 1 tight end, 2 wide receivers for San Diego. A give to the tailback Thomas, running right, cuts back, moves across the 35. And he's tackled at the 38. He got 5 yards.
Mike Thomas, ball carrier.
Brought down by Gradishar. Boy, he's made some tackles here tonight.
You know, it's hard to understand why the Chargers haven't done a better job of running the football with the kind of offensive linemen they have, and especially the size of those 2 great big tackles, Billy Shields and Russ Washington.
A pickup of 4 yards. They give forward progress out to the 38 and second down and 6. Larry Burton and John Floyd are the wide receivers. About time for Fouts to throw the ball again. He can't let 2 downs go by without throwing. He gives the ball to Clarence Williams. He runs left, cuts back, and gets out to the 40, and it's going to be 3rd down and 3. 3rd down and 3 for the Chargers with Reuben Carter and Tom Jackson.
Ball is marked on the 40-yard line, a 2-yard advance, 3rd down.
Williams out to the 40-yard line. 3rd down and 3 for the Chargers. Out they come. 9:55 left in the game. Chargers leading 14-7.
They'll pump it up here, I'm sure. See if they send the tight end in motion. Here he comes.
They do. Klein goes in motion. Fouts drops to throw. Looks, throws, and off the hands of Artie Owens. Not Owens, but Burton, and incomplete. Right through the hands of Burton, and San Diego is going to have to kick. 9:41 left in the game. The punter is Jeff West, and Dave Preston goes back to his 20. The Broncos intercepted the last time they had the ball. Will get it back again if things go in normal fashion. The snap from center is high, handled by West. Jumps into it, punts it away to Preston, calls for a fair catch at the 25-yard line. The Broncos go from there, trailing by 7. 9:35 left.
25-yard line.
9:35 remaining in the game.
Takes over 1st and 10 off 25.
Denver scored first in the first quarter. San Diego tied it, and we were 7-7 at the half. Chargers scored in the 3rd quarter. Now there's 9:35 left in the game.
See if somebody goes in motion in this formation. Here he comes.
They do with Haven Moses, and on 1st down from his own 25, Morton rolls right, fakes it short. Now he throws the ball away. Incomplete, out of bounds. What happened there?
Oh, I tell you, those defensive backs and linebackers are really doing a good job of making the receivers reroute themselves. That time he went in motion, Moses did, and as he turned upfield, he really got a shot by the cornerback. And for that reason, he was not able to get upfield. He was knocked off his course. It threw off the timing of the pattern, and in spite of that, Morton threw it in that direction and threw right into coverage.
Steve Watson, the rookie wide receiver, comes into the game. Upchurch is out. Moses, the other wide receiver. 2nd down and 10 from the 25. Morton rolling. He's chased. He throws a screen, and it's incomplete and almost intercepted. The pressure was on. Morton was stumped back at the 10-yard line. The pressure got him that time, and he had to throw it away. Incomplete, 3rd and 10.
It was a misdirection screen is what it was, and he rolled to his left and tried to throw back to the right side, but Woodrow Lowe, the right linebacker, really did a great job of responding to what happened and was right out there on the play.
9:24 left in the game. Morton is 21 out of 32. He's had 4 intercepted. He needs 10 yards from his own 25. He's back to throw. Rolls right. Looks. Throws on the run. Intercepted by Fuller at the 40. He's to the 35-yard line. He's to the 30-yard line. He's down to the 25-yard line. That's the 5th interception against Craig Morton tonight. Mike Fuller tackled by Steve Watson.
He tried to get away from the traffic inside and rolled out that time. I don't know why he threw the ball where he did, because he threw it right to Fuller. Right to him. He didn't see him, evidently coming from the inside out. Made the interception, and San Diego has possession on the 25.
Fuller picked it up, and San Diego goes to work at the 25 of Denver.
He'll run to the right. Let's see if he does. No, it goes left.
Fouts gives the ball to Thomas. Started inside, comes outside, goes right, and goes down to the 21-yard line for a pickup of 4. 9 minutes left. San Diego leading 14-7. Boy, the pressure they started to put on Craig Morton has really changed this game around.
Yes, and again, I mentioned it earlier, but you must realize what a great job that San Diego has done defensively. Everybody talks about their offense, but they're playing extremely well defensively, too.
The ball is at the Denver 21-yard line. Thomas goes out on a wing, and now Fouts has to call timeout because of a mix-up in the formation. And he uses his first timeout here in the second half. It'll be 2nd and 6 when we resume from the Denver 21, 8:36 remaining. Timeout on the field with a score, 14-7 San Diego.
Well, third period goes by Eric Strobel and
quarterback
Phil
of Detroit
Berchota.
And I have a
This is
message
the
from
U.S.
the
to a
National
3-1 win over
Sports
Canada
Council.
Monday night.
For a group
The
of
Lake
athletes
Placid
who have
International
teamed up to help
Invitational
the
Hockey
Easter
Tournament in
Society
Lake
and
Placid,
support
New
the
York.
people who have
An earlier
disabilities.
game, Andreas
Like other members of
Hankerson
the
in the
Sports
shot. The blue
Council,
line
I'm an
passed
Easter Field
goaltender
volunteer in
Sharon
my
Lang
community.
at
I spend
13:08 of the
time
third
with
period,
handicapped
enabling
kids,
Sweden
and
to
I've
tie
talked with their
Czechoslovakia
parents.
3-3. Strobel finished off a three-way rush in which Rob McClanahan and Mark Johnson outmaneuvered the Canadian defense, leaving Strobel in front of goalie Ron Patterson. He decked Patterson, deposited the puck into an open net at 11:15. Again, the United States has won over Canada 3-1 at the Lake Placid International Hockey Tournament. College basketball final, University of Arizona has defeated Fresno State 65-61. Another final, Rollins 76, St. Joseph of Pennsylvania 75. That's in the Tangerine Bowl Classic.
With 8:36 left in the game, the Chargers and Broncos are battling for the title in the Western Division of the AFC. The winner will get a week off and a home game. The loser will play at Houston next Sunday. The Chargers leading 14-7 have the ball at the Denver 21, 2nd down and 6. Bad news that Rick Upchurch will not return to the game tonight for Denver. Here's the running play, and Mike Thomas gets down to the 15-yard line for a first down. Mike Thomas started right, cut back, really had the feet moving, and moved down to the 15-yard line for a first down.
6 yards. The Charger first down.
We're coming up on the 8-minute mark as the Chargers break the huddle. Reuben Carter and Bob Swenson made that last tackle.
They'll run again, I'm sure, here, Jack.
Williams and Thomas in the backfield with Fouts. He spins, gives to Williams, running left, gets to the 10. He is tackled at the 10, got 5. Ran left, got 5. Stopped by Steve Foley.
Stopped by number 40, Charlie West.
Now we have 7:35 left in the game. Trying to get a clincher for a touchdown, maybe a clincher, and use up some of that time. The Chargers are on the move. They're at the Denver 10-yard line. Floyd goes to the left and Burton is to the right. It's 2nd down and 5 yards to go from the 10-yard line. The give is to Thomas over the right side. Drives to about the 6. It's going to be 3rd down and 1. Clarence Williams was the carrier rather than Thomas. And Gradishar with yet another tackle. The ball is at the 6. Hank Bauer, their big back, comes in. Bauer's 200-pounder, bigger than the other two, Thomas and Williams. And it's 3rd down and a yard from the Denver 6-yard line. Fouts takes the ball and hands off to Bauer. Bauer tried to get to the 5 and probably got enough for a first down. We'll see where they mark it.
Boy, is that Gradishar or something on that short yardage. He's really, really murder.
I think he made a first down, Hank. They're going to bring it in and measure it. They're going to bring it in and measure at the vicinity of the Denver 5-yard line. That was a 3rd down carry. Well, they say he didn't make it, and Mike Wood comes in to try for the field goal. 6:15 left in the game. Fuller will hold the ball on the 14. It'll be a 24-yard attempt. Trying to make the score 17-7. And Mike Wood kicks it, and it is good. Boy, that one really hurt Denver. We have 5:58 remaining in the game, and now with the score, San Diego 17 and the Denver Broncos 7. Let's take time out.
Let's look at some more college basketball now. Mike Young finished with 19 points and came off the bench to spur 2 rallies giving 19th-ranked Arkansas an 86-68 victory over Oklahoma City. Arkansas relying heavily on a tight press, outscored the Chiefs 19-4 in a 6-minute stretch and came from 8 points behind to go up 36-29 with 1:30 before halftime. At Manhattan, Kansas, Orlando Blackman faced 7 Kansas State players in double figures, 18 points, to lift the Wildcats to a 106-53 victory over California State Bakersfield. Final score of the National Hockey League, Minnesota has blasted Toronto. That final score was 5-1. Again, the poll has come out as far as college basketball. I gave you the UPI poll. Let's see what AP has it. They also have Duke number 1, followed by Ohio State, Kentucky, Notre Dame, Indiana, DePaul, LSU, North Carolina, Purdue, and Syracuse. Top 10.
The Broncos are down, but they're not out. 5:58 left in the game as Chris Payne and Dave Preston are back to receive the kick from Mike Wood. Wood just kicked a 24-yard field goal to increase the San Diego lead to 17-7, and he kicks it off. The ball heads for Preston, who takes it on the 5. He's to the 10, to the 15, to the 20. He's to the 25. He's across the 30-yard line. He's across the 35. He's out near the 40-yard line. A tremendous return by Dave Preston, who took it on the 5-yard line and returned it out to his own. Let's see where they mark it down. He brought it out to his own 42-yard line and tackled by Jerome Dove, the defensive back for the Chargers.
37-yard return on the 42-yard line.
Now the Broncos, who trail by 10 after that 37-yard kickoff return, find Morton back to throw. Drops it off short. It's caught by the Otis Armstrong. He comes out near midfield and gained about 9 yards on the play.
24, Otis Armstrong. You know, I can't
Armstrong caught that ball in an awkward position, but made a good play.
Yes, he did. And, I can't understand why Denver doesn't open up the tight end, Riley Odoms, because he's being stuffed at the line of scrimmage and can't get out. If they would reduce him from the line of scrimmage, put him a little bit, he could get out a lot easier, and he would be an effective receiver downfield, especially the way they're playing defensively.
Now the ball's at midfield, and it's second down and a yard and a half for Denver. And Morton rolls right, pops a little pass that's complete at the 45 of San Diego, a first down. Forward progress to the 44-yard line to Armstrong again. To the San Diego 44. 4:50 left in the game, and the clock running.
Gain of 7 yards. Tackle by number 52, Ray Preston.
A pickup of 7 and a first down. Keyworth checks into the backfield with Preston. Ball at the 44 of San Diego, and Morton on a draw play, hands off, and the running play now goes to the 40-yard line with Jensen carrying the ball. Got 4.
30, Jim Jensen.
Jensen ran to the 40-yard line. Each team has 2 timeouts remaining here in the second half. Now the clock says 4:08 remaining. Second down and 6 for the Broncos. They start Moses in motion. Here's the toss to Armstrong running right. All down from behind. Drops at the 39-yard line.
Wilbur Young.
Good thing that Wilbur Young made that tackle.
Boy, he came in from his left tackle position and really did a good job of making the tackle. He looked like he had some running room on the inside, Otis Armstrong, but Wilbur Young did a good job of making the play.
So it'll be 3rd and 5. 3:35 left in the game. San Diego leading 17-7. Big 3rd and 5 play for the Broncos at the 39 of San Diego. And there was contact made on the line of scrimmage. Morton's back to throw, and throws incomplete. Trying to get it to his tight end, Riley Odoms, and we'll check the penalty.
Gary Johnson was offside on the play, number 79. Looked like that anyhow.
If it turns out to be that way, it'll be very close to a first down. Offside San Diego. Looks like it's going to be 3rd down and inches. Gary Johnson was offside. We'll listen to the referee, Chuck Heberling. Now it's 3rd down and a yard at the 34 of San Diego. .321 left in the game. Morton wants the first down now. On third down, gives to Preston over the right side, gets a first down, and hits to the 30 and came within one man of breaking it for a score.
And up to number 46.
And it was Ray Preston and Pete Shaw, the tacklers.
Ray Preston.
Ball is now at the San Diego 29.
5 yards. Ball is marked on the Chargers' 29-yard line. And for first down.
2:55 left in the game. Clock running. Morton back to throw. Look, swings it out here. Incomplete. Off the hands of Larry Canada, who made contact with the ball at about the line of scrimmage, and the linebacker, Woody Lowe, was coming up to really unload, but Canada dropped the ball.
Yes, and I think Canada anticipated 51 making the play. Woody Lowe took his eye off the ball momentarily, just enough to drop it.
Clock is stopped with 2:44 remaining. San Diego leads in this game 17-7. Second down and 10 for the Broncos. That's the 29-yard line of the Chargers. Moses and Watson are both to the left side. Morton's back to throw. Throws to the sideline, and a fine reception at the 22-yard line is hauled in by Haven Moses, and it's going to be third down and 3. Mike Fuller was there covering, but a well-thrown ball by Morton.
Yes, and a good pattern by Moses. He took his time. The outside receiver went straight up the field, cleaned out the area. Moses took a couple of steps up and then broke to the outside. The ball was delivered right on the money. He knew where he had to be as far as his feet were concerned and made the catch.
And he went out of bounds, stopping the clock with 2:39 left. Calvin Clark is in at the offensive tackle position on the left side for the Broncos. It's 3rd and 3 at the 22 of San Diego. Morton's back to throw. Over the middle, caught by Keyworth, tackled immediately on the 20, and it's going to be 4th down and about the length of the football to go. Woody Lowe took his legs out from under him. Clock is stopped again because they want to see if he made a first down. They're going to measure. He appears to be a couple of inches short of a first down with 2:28 remaining in the game.
Yeah, I think it is just an inch or two short.
You never disagree with me, do you? 4th down and inches. And, of course, Denver could get the field goal and still be only 7 points behind. They've got to get those points someplace, Hank. I think they'd be crazy to gamble here.
Yeah.
Because even if they gamble, get the first down and don't get the touchdown, it's going to use up so much of that time. However, their field goal kicker, Jim Turner, is hurt.
Yeah, 4th and inches, you got to go for it, Jack. I would go for it.
Well,
you can't make inches in this situation. You just shouldn't win.
Yeah, but I disagree. I would get the field goal here myself.
Well, if it was a yard, I would kick it, but not with this situation. I'd go for the first down.
4th and inches from the 19 of San Diego for the Broncos. Trailing by 10. 2:15 left, and the running play. A flag goes down. Enough yardage was made for the first down. And a penalty is going to be against Denver.
Well, now they got to kick it.
Offside. So it'll be 4th down and 5.
Yep, now they got to kick that field goal.
They move the ball back to the San Diego 24. The guard, the tackle of Calvin Clark, who just came into the game and went offside. 2:12 left. 4th down and 5 from the San Diego 24. Morton brings the club out with setback. And is back to throw. Needs 5 yards. 4th down. Swings it out. It's caught by the running back. And he is tackled about a yard short of a first down. Mike Fuller came up and made the hit. Came up and made the hit on Jensen. Jensen knew where he had to go, Hank. He just couldn't get there.
Boy, you talk about these two teams playing a terrific game defensively. That was a terrific play at that time. And San Diego has possession with 2 minutes left in this game.
San Diego takes over on their own 20 with 2 minutes left. A pause in the action with a score. San Diego 17, the Broncos 7.
Well, this win, the San Diego team will get some home field advantage and will go on to win their 12th game of the year and win the West Division hands down 12 victories and 4 defeats, Denver will be in the playoffs and end up with a record as a wild card of 10-6. Here's the score in the college basketball wars. Out west at Reno, Nevada, halftime, the Wolfpack of North Carolina State leads Nevada-Reno by a score of 48-37. Clemson's John Campbell scored 19 points tonight and grabbed 13 rebounds to send unbeaten Clemson to a 113-74 romp over Georgia Southern. The win gave undefeated Clemson a 6-0 record, while Georgia Southern dropped to 1-6. And Brooks Stepp scored 26 points. Lenny Horton, 22, to lead Georgia Tech past Wofford 84-64.
Well, these fans feel it now. They think they've got the title. Their club has the lead by 10 points, 17-7 with 2 minutes left. They have the ball as well at their own 20-yard line. You can hear them roaring as South brings them out and asks for quiet. He has Thomas and Williams in the backfield with him. Only a fumble could really hurt him. Here is a give to Williams running right. And he cuts it back up, gets to the 24, got 4 yards. Denver has 2 timeouts remaining, and they use one of them now and stop the clock with 1:52 left in the game. There's the timeout on the field with the score. San Diego 17, the Broncos 7.
Looking at college basketball again, a while ago we gave you the complete rundown top 20 as released today by UPI, the poll. AP, we gave you the top 10. Let's look at the second 10 according to Associated Press. Louisville, number 11. Number 12, Virginia Cavaliers of Charlottesville, and they have a big guy named 7'4" Ralph Sampson, who's just a freshman. 13th ranked Iowa, number 14 UCLA. 15 is St. John's of New York. 16 Missouri, who won tonight. They're undefeated. Georgetown, the nation's capital, is number 17, followed by Brigham Young, Oregon State, and Arkansas. Terry Teagle scored 15 points tonight, and Andy Sears added 11 to propel the Baylor Bears to an 84-48 rout of Trinity. The Bears now 3-4, placed 13 players in the scoring column. Trinity was led by Wyatt McVeigh with 11 points. Steve Meacham came off the bench to score 19 points and grab 10 rebounds, leading Memphis State to a 96-65 victory over Eastern Montana.
Out from his own 24, snaps the ball and hands off to Clarence Williams. He comes out to around the 28-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and 3. We have 1:48 remaining in the game, and Denver uses their final timeout. And Hank, I'll bet the Oakland Raiders are really kicking themselves tonight.
Boy, they really must be. And, you know, they had a very unusual season. They beat the teams with a good record, but they lost 2 to Seattle.
They lost 1 to the Jets that really killed them.
And they lost 2 to Kansas City. So that's 5 games. And not that those teams aren't good teams, but their records aren't as good as the ones as the teams that they beat.
The reason we say that is if Denver was to lose here this evening, that would have put Oakland in the playoffs. But Denver had already clinched at least a wild card spot, and that apparently is what they're going to end up with. If so, they'll be playing at Houston next Sunday afternoon, and that's no picnic.
It really isn't, especially after Houston got beat over the weekend by Philadelphia.
And by the way, congratulations to Earl Campbell, who won the National Football League rushing title. Of course, he was number 1 in the AFC, and Walter Payton was number 1, and O.J. Anderson number 2 in the NFC. It's 3rd down and 3 for the Chargers at their own 27. They lead 17-7. Denver has no more timeouts. But unless San Diego gets a first down on this play, Denver will still have time to get the ball, but they trail by 10 points. A rather tight formation with Burton wide on 3rd down. Here is a give to Clarence Williams, and he gets the first down across the 30-yard line. The ball comes loose. A fumble, and the ball belongs to San Diego. The play was whistled dead, and it's a first down. It's a first down, and that'll do it. Williams behind the block by Ed White ran to the 31. He fumbled the ball, but the play was whistled dead. The clock is running, 1:25 remaining, and Denver will not win the title. San Diego is home free. They lead 17-7, and all they have to do is let the clock run out. These 52,000 fans love it. their first playoff game since '65, the first ever in the NFL, and they'll be playing at home 2 weeks from now. Here's a handoff to Williams, popping up the middle. 59 seconds left. One more snap of the ball, and this game will be over. Let's pause 5 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the CBS Radio Network.
This is the American Forces Radio and Television Service.
One more snap of the ball, and this tilt will end, and San Diego will win the Western Division of the AFC. They will win their 12th game of the year, and they'll be a home club in the playoffs. 25 seconds left in the game. South snaps the ball, falls down, the clock runs down. 20, listen to the crowd. They love it here in San Diego. An exciting night, Hank.
Very exciting, and you have to give credit to both coaching staffs, both teams. This is a very well-played game. There were some turnovers, but the manner with which these teams played tonight was very impressive, and the coaches and players deserve an awful lot of credit.
And that's the end of the game between the Broncos and the Chargers. The final score, San Diego 17 and Denver 7.
Alan McAdams scored his third career hat trick last night to face the Minnesota North Stars to a 5-1 victory over the Toronto Maple Leafs. The North Stars, winners of 5 of their last 6 games, are 10-1-2 at home. That's second best in the league. McAdams started the scoring at 5:45 of the first period when he pushed a rebound of Tim Young's past Toronto goalie Paul Harrison. After Mike Eaves made it 2-0, Dave Williams scored for Toronto at 13:58. McAdams put the Stars up by 2 goals 39 seconds later for a 3-1 lead at the end of the first period. In the second period, McAdams finished off his hat trick again on a rebound on Young's shot. Mike Fiddler scored Minnesota's 5th goal on a breakaway in the third period. The first period was marked by a bench-clearing brawl in 1955 that saw referee Ron Harris call 78 minutes and penalties. Harris also ejected Williams and Brad Maxwell of Minnesota. In all, Harris whistled 132 penalty minutes, 67 on Toronto.
The final score is 17-7, San Diego. Charlie Joyner comes out of the San Diego dressing room, holds his helmet up high to the cheers of the crowd. Hank, at about the 14-minute mark, 14 minutes left in this game, the ball flew around like a hot potato. John Good intercepted. On the next play, Steve Foley intercepted. On the next play, Mike Williams intercepted, and they went in for the clinching field goal.
Yes, and really, Denver had a couple of wonderful opportunities to win the football game. The interception down to the 1-yard line early in the game was a big factor, and of course, they were marching again through another interception, and that really was the difference in the game.
Denver had 5 passes intercepted, and they lost to fumbles. San Diego had 3 passes intercepted. They lost to fumbles. So we had 10 turnovers in this title game.
Yes, and again, the thing that you had to be impressed with was the way San Diego played defensively. They really did a great job. A lot of people overlooked the fact that they are such a fine team defensively.
San Diego had to play all night without John Jefferson. He never did get into the games. He should be well 2 weeks from now. That's a big advantage in having next week off for them.
Yes, and of course, Joyner missed a lot of this game, too, so that's going to make a big difference.
And then Upchurch had to duck out early, and he was never full speed. And Denver also had Jim Turner, their field goal kicker, less than par. And so they passed up what I thought was an obvious field goal possibility.
And again, as you mentioned, there was a good reason for doing it because they didn't have Turner ready to kick.
Meanwhile, these fans want some more of the players to come out and take a bow. They have some more cheering that they want to do. San Diego had some glory days in the All-American Football League, but now they want more than that. And they'll be playing 2 weeks from today. Meanwhile, Denver goes to Houston, carrying with them a record of 10-6. And they'll be playing at Houston. The second game of the doubleheader next Sunday. The Bears will be at Philadelphia in the first game. And again, I say, I bet Oakland is really kicking themselves this evening.
Doesn't make any difference how hard they kick either, Jack. They're still not going to make it. But I know they have to feel badly about it.
So San Diego winds up with the best records, along with Pittsburgh in the National Football League. Pittsburgh and San Diego end up 12-4. Denver, a very respectable record of 10-6 again. They'll meet at the Astrodome against Houston a couple of weeks from now.